Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into episode 17 of the Coscast. We are 3 away from our target of episode 20. We've got tons of guests booked up, which is amazing. Thank you all once again for the views. Every episode's hitting over 1,000, which is amazing. What we would really like to see now, and we would really be grateful for, is people subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing. We are aiming for 500. That is 50% of the views we're getting. Today, we have another very, very special guest. And I've known this guy for quite a while now. And I think this is a guy that's going to bring a lot of stories. He knows himself. He can talk. What better than coming onto a podcast and talking about his career, where he's going, his characters. So today we have Firthy for you, who plays Beetle from Time 2, from No Pixel. And I think this is going to be a banger of an episode. Let's go in and let's say hello. Yo!
Yo, what's good?
How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, not too bad.
First of all, mate, thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
Let's start straight away, which is the easiest question for a streamer. How did you start?
So I started in 2017, but it wasn't a thing that I would do regularly. It was like a weekend, bored, sat in the house doing no. I'd stream for about 3 hours, have like 2 views, stop, and then in December of last month, that's when I took it like serious, day in, day out, like minimum of 4, max of 8 a day. Well, whilst I was working, and from then on, it just absolutely just pushed like the snowball downhill, and it just built up and built up.
And how old are you?
I'm 24.
24. So you've been doing it since what? You were 17.
So I lied about the application to get into a server, the first ever server. So yeah, I wouldn't say doing it because like it was more of like it was like once every week, maybe every 2 week. I'd jump on and there'd be a gunfight and I'd think, oh, quick stream this. And I'd stream it, and about an hour later I'd go off.
And obviously you've just got a partner.
I have,
So,
yeah. I have.
Well done, because that's a hell of a journey, isn't it?
Yes, I think I've had the, like, you know, when you can apply, I've had that since like February, March, and then obviously certain things happened, so my viewership just plummeted. But we got there in the end. Kept pushing, kept grinding, and we got there.
That's one thing I wanted to say to you as well, because I know what it's like. How do you find it when viewers fluctuate so much? I think it's very good for viewers that will watch this to understand, because like myself and you can go from hundreds to I've been at the stage of 10. And do you give a fuck, or does it stress you out? How do you find that?
So when I started in December, and I think I bumped into Young Philly on Beetlejuice when I first created him, and then I bumped into Ginge, and then I started hanging around with him, and I was on like, say 70, 80. And that was like, holy shit, I've fucking made it. Like, you know what I mean? And then when the whole thing went down with him getting banned from No Pixel, it literally declined every single day. I was like, it was like 60, 40, 20, 2. When I hit 2, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, holy shit. Like, it puts onto yourself like you're a failure, right? Like you've had
It does, yeah.
You've had all these views, you've had all this, like, you know, you're entertaining people, and then to have nothing, it's like, what happened? And then you start to question yourself then, is my content shit? Am I doing a shit job? People not enjoying me? And it just, you know, it starts loads of stuff in your mind, you know. And one thing I did to overcome that was turn off the viewers.
Yeah.
I turn off the viewers, and sometimes I'm a bit quiet, but that's just because I'm tired. But then sometimes I don't even check. Some people tell me, oh, you've got 200 people watching you. I'm like, oh, didn't know. Thanks. And it's just I try to keep it the same every time. Obviously, sometimes with viewers' numbers jumping right up when you get raided and that, you have to put a bit of energy in for them coming, you know, into your stream just to keep them entertained. But Other than that, I just turn them off.
Mm.
Just don't really care. You know what I mean?
Do you know what a lot of people advise, and it is true. And this isn't like, this is just repeating what someone said. It's not a dig at anyone. The same as myself. You should stream to one person. The stream is the same way you should stream to 10,000. But you
Oh,
can't really, can you? Because if you kind of got, let's say, 10 people there, you're not going to be as upbeat. If you got 10,000, you'll be like, right, the stadium's full.
yeah.
I got to do some shit here. But yeah, the advice is right. You need to, but mentally that's hard and it's tough. And when you're sat there and you say your viewers are lower, you're kind of like, and all that's going in your mind is, what have I done? What have I done? Like, I know what you mean, but yeah, turning that viewer count off is handy when it's like that. But then you
And
don't get the dopamine when 200-300 pop in, do you? And you don't even know.
no,
Sometimes it's worth it.
so do you know the Caramel Gamer? On
Yes.
he plays oh fuck, Lovemore.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Such
So
an awesome guy.
he when I started playing on NoPixel, I got in contact with him because I was watching him from TikTok when he did TikTok streams on another server, and I said like, "Holy shit, you need to be in NoPixel." And then one day I see him on NoPixel, and I was like, "Holy shit, you made it!" And he's like, "Yeah, thanks, brother." We got talking and that. We used to wake up at the same time, like when I didn't have Prio on NoPixel. I used to wake up at like 7 in the morning, grind till like 7, and if I get in afterwards, I'd carry on going. And me and him was talking, and he said, "Don't have your viewers like don't imagine your viewers just sat there behind a computer screen. Imagine them in a room, like a room filled with 30 people. That is a lot of people. Like most people think, right? I've seen this streamer have 1,000 viewers. I'm on 10. What the fuck?" And
Yeah.
it's like, don't think of it that way because then it's like a numbers game. Then think of it of the actual people in the room with you, right? Like you're doing a presentation. Because I got nervous when the first time I had 50 viewers in. I was stuttering. I was like, what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? I'm like, hi. And everyone's just like awkward. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do. And then I imagined them in a room and I was like, holy shit, that is a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
You just think of it that way and it helps you so much, like with
He's
everything.
he's very underrated. He is such a good streamer.
Yes.
He deserves to be way higher than he is.
Oh, 100.
Such a bubbly, funny guy, 24/7. And I suppose he's a guy to take advice from. He could genuinely stream to one person the same way he does to 10,000. I don't know where he gets the energy from.
That's it. It's to me, I don't know where people can pull energy from. Like, I sometimes I can jump onto City and I'm just like, "All right, guys, how are y'all doing?" And they're like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "No, I've had 3 hours of sleep, but I'm back here again."
I think it's like I think it's ADHD, your superpower, like Chippy said, severe ADHD and Pepsi Cherry Max. I think it's just some people are just wired differently, aren't they? And they just don't stop.
Well, that's
I
the
don't know
thing.
how they do it.
I've got ADHD, and what it is with me is if I'm doing something or if in myself I'm interested in what's going on, I will then get like energy out of nowhere.
Yeah,
If I'm just sat there grinding fucking roof running, you should honestly. It looks like I'm half asleep. I'm like,
I know
oh,
exactly what you mean.
fuck.
Yeah.
But then if something interesting is going on, like the war with you guys, I
Mm.
was on the radio fucking screaming and singing down the radio as Beetle, and everyone's like, "Will you shut the fuck up?" And Beetle's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had my like I was holding the button. Sorry, sorry." And everyone's just like, "Fucking Christ!" And it's just like energy wise, I'm very energy like I'm full of energy, but then sort of it comes to like halfway to the back end of the stream, it's all gone.
How do you know one thing I noticed the other day? And me and Shano discussed this last week, and you sort of said yourself, because I noticed the other day you done it. Is it the old Beetle is coming back? Do you feel that from the other day? Do you feel the old Beetle is coming back from? I'd say the no pixel Beetle.
So what it was when I got appointed leader of the Moist, I lost Beetle. Like I totally it's a different character. It's not Beetlejuice. The
Mm.
voice is totally different. the whole like demeanor, the way he says stuff, the way he does stuff is different. Like Beetlejuice is using big fucking words that no one knows. Do you know what I mean? And Beetle does, and it's like, hang on a minute, you're not meant to be smart, pal.
Yeah.
And I think Abdul as well. Abdul put it like straight. You don't know how to relax in the gang like life. It's just because I'm constantly as a leader as well. Especially, I was constantly thinking, what can I do to make the gang better and to make sure like the gang lasts a long time? Because you see it in servers where gangs come in, gangs die out, and then they move on to the next one. You know what I mean? I want it to be the gang that's in here from the start.
Mm.
So like when it comes to, let's just say, for example, 2 years down the line, Moist Boys are still up and kicking and doing shit. And when you watch the server, the Moist Boys are the most people doing the most shit to content wise.
Yeah.
That's what I envisioned. And obviously with Beetle, I just lost it. And even now, like sometimes I'll jump in and I'll just jump straight back into that character mindset of the leader Beetle, not the old school Beetle from No Pixel. But I am trying my best to re-find him and redo it.
I
Like
think
over
you
again.
done well the other day. It was. Did you put the teeth in the other day or
No,
not?
no. So it's weird because the teeth helped a lot of No Pixel. But I think that because you got to think, I started doing the voice in November of last year, and I joined on Time 2 with it. Not Time 2, Prodigy, and I met Hutch. But the voice was so different to what it were in December. It was
Mm.
like so different. And then in No Pixel was like, because with the teeth as well, and it helped me like sort of when I was saying stuff, it sounded like him because of the teeth. Whereas the bro come in, and then I just started practicing it and practicing it and practicing it. And then over time, it's just become natural. Whereas
Mm.
like now when I jump in the server, I'm automatically into that mindset of leader Beetle where I shouldn't be. I should be
Yeah.
old school Beetle, not giving a shit about money, not giving a shit about who I upset. You know what I mean? In terms of like the people in the server gang wise. Not giving a shit about fines and times and stuff with the police. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of like, it's like digging through a wardrobe to find the shirt that you love, and on top of it is just all this shit. And I'm just trying to find that shirt again to put back on to be the old school
Mm.
Beetle.
I think it suits you better as well, and I get what you were trying to do, and technically you have done what you kind of set out to do. And obviously, when you first made it, and even Shane was saying the other day, like anything you boys done was wrong, and no matter how smart you like pretended your characters to be, whatever you plan went to shit, and that's hard. It's
Um,
really frustrating, but you can't. The Moist Boys are doing really well now, which is nice to see.
so when Beetle was leader, it was kind of hard because I think this is why I mainly changed the character as well, was because, like, for instance, the phone call with you, and you Cosney then Snake Beetle out. Well, not snaked him, but told the offenders that Beetle was gonna roll the block. They come, fucked all of us boys up. I'm in the house on the radio, shouting and screaming, and then like, Beetle, why are you so fucking stupid? And then I got like, I'm not even joking. You got payback on me. Do you remember the time in No Pixel when you got a shit ton of hate?
Yeah.
That was payback, man, I swear to God. The amount of people come in my chat, you are a fucking idiot. We don't like Beetle anymore. Get him out of the gang. You shouldn't be a gang leader. You shouldn't even be on Time 2. You're a shit RP. And I was like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, I was like, bro, this is a character I'm playing. Go look at Beetlejuice's clips. Ask him to spell red. He can't spell fucking red, man. I was like, don't. I was like, you're taking it too far. Like, you're taking
Some
it way out of like proportion.
some people are fuck that. That brings me on to another subject of the viewers at the moment. Some of them are fucking wild. Like
Oh,
I, d- I don't think people realize. Like I always see a lot of people in the server are friends. Some are very good friends, and it's just nuts. Every day, seeing streamers abused. Something like the perfect example was the Collins situation the other day. Regardless of how heated you get in the moment, you're still fucking friends. And I was watching both of you, and the Collins side was fucking horrendous. I was like, wow. Obviously, I know from your point of view, you don't You do not stand for none of that.
No, I
And
said
it,
IPMCom saying if you give me names of people that was like
yeah.
that you can remember that said hurtful shit, and they will be banned from my chat, and I'll make sure they're banned from everyone else's, because at the end of the day, people are taking RP way too serious. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a game. It is a storyline. It is technically a TV show.
Mm,
And everyone who's RPing a character is an actor slash director, right?
yeah.
They try to figure out what to do. And then when people don't like, this is the thing. When someone doesn't go their streamer's way, they're instantly in your chat drilling you. And
Mm.
I always say to them, you must be pretty bored to jump in my chat and give me shit over me twatting your streamer. So at the end of the day, get over it and just fucking get alive. Stop sitting there watching us and taking it to heart. At the end of the day, it's roleplay. Because I can guarantee if I met up with them in a pub or out on the streets or something and we go for food, would be you know what I mean? We'd get along perfectly fine.
It's their loyalty is it's impressive, isn't
It's
it? Like,
crazy. It's crazy. It is. It is.
and
It's
and like say two taps of a mouse to hit someone with a baseball bat, and while you've just tapped your mouse twice, you hate my streamer. How dare you?
exactly.
It's yeah, it's absolutely fucking crazy. Especially if you have to play a stupid character. That's even harder, isn't it? They go, oh, you're so stupid. No, I'm not. I'm playing stupid. Like,
Exactly right. It's like that's the whole reason I changed him, because people was like moaning at me too much, like in character, saying like, Beetle, you're a fucking idiot. Why are you telling people this? Why are you telling people that? And then obviously typical Beetle fashion, he try switch it on them, on the person.
mm,
So as soon as I got a phone call from Chris Udo, I was like, oh yeah, no, I did tell cousin that. Cousin lied. I told him I had two options. And everyone was just like, yeah, but you still told him. And I was like, oh, I can't even win. I can't even be bothered. So OOCly, I was getting very pissed off and very tired with people constantly drilling Beetle, being like, yo, Beetle, you're a fucking idiot. Da, 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 da. And I was like, listen, I'm trying to have fun. And this isn't fun. I'm getting drilled by you. I'm getting drilled by chat. You know what I mean? I was like, it's not even worth being leader. As soon as I handed it off to Ginge, the first day, Ginge turned around and said, I understand what Beetle were going through.
yeah,
And I was like, and especially like you're playing a smarter character, whereas Beetle's a dumbass. And
yeah.
Beetle's trying to handle these guys, but still at the same hand balance being a dumbass. It's so hard.
I think that's impossible. I've had loads of friends before that are very intelligent, like yourself, and pretending to be stupid. That's got to be. I mean, I've done it. I've done it before, and it's tough because sometimes you just switch into clever mode and you try and organize things, and you think, hold on, my character's supposed to be thick as fuck, but people just don't. And do you know one thing that really, really annoys me? And like you said, you've done all this snaky shit, and it all come back to you. No one ever steps back and goes, Beetle made my streamer look good, actually. Do you know what I mean? No one ever goes, right, he's a snaky cunt, but actually, look what he's made.
No, they
And
don't.
no one ever, everyone just goes, oh, he's snaky. He
Yeah.
can't trust it. And you're like, I do it all the time. And you know me from a long time. I twist stuff all the time.
Yes. Yes.
I will constantly twist stuff and cover my tracks, but I will make sure that people are so confused it makes
By it.
conflict. And I'll
So
always say, but no one ever goes, oh, look at this entertainment. No one.
no, it's like the other day when I give Colin this, like, I don't know, did you see the scene with Beetle and Ava?
No.
No, so Colin took obviously Beetle and Ava are a thing in the city, right? Which it's weird.
Are you ERP in?
No, 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 no,
I
no.
will end this podcast.
No, I'm not European. No, she sometimes be like, I love a bit of dark chocolate, and I'm just sat there like, what the fuck do I say? I'm like, this is, like my chat are all sat there saying, oh, please stop it. This is making me cringe, and I'm like, it's making you cringe. How the fuck do you think I feel? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
I can't handle it myself, mate. I can't.
And everyone's like, you're blushing. I'm like, yeah, 'cause it's awkward as fuck. I'm sat here live to you
I'm
guys.
so glad. Do you know what?
Do you know, it's like
I'm the
you guys.
same.
It's like you guys are sat here literally watching me as Beetlejuice being dirty talked to. It's fucking awkward. And everyone's like, nah, stand up. And I'm like, fuck off, chat. I'm like, no, it's awkward, man. It's fucking weird.
I'm exactly the same way. People go, oh, some girl says something to you or does something, and you go red.
It's
You know,
awkward.
I'm not going red because I can't speak to a woman. I'm going red because there's 100 people looking at a cartoon, chat me up. And you're like,
Exactly. It's like,
that sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's just like,
no, it's just like, okay, that's when someone does that, like, do you know Erica?
no.
She's played by I'm Not AFK, I think. When we had that meeting with you in the prison and we all got done in prison. When I was there, she gave me a phone call and she was like, "Hiya, babe," and I was just like, I don't even know who she is. And then she's like, "Oh, come up now. Do you need me to put anything in my pussy?" And I was just like, I just burst out laughing on streaming, and it absolutely caused it broke me. I was crying. I had tears. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she comes, seeing all you lot, and she was just like, rung me up saying, "Wait, you got visitors? Are you cheating on me?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you? I don't even know who you are. Like, what
I
do you want?"
I still to this day don't know if I respect people that can go to that level or not. I don't know.
I respect it because, like, I know for a fact I can't go that level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that comfortable yet as a streamer or in a
I
person to like
yeah.
ERP or kiss or whatnot. It's just it freaks me out because it's like it's a video game. It's like, what the fuck? I'm watching these two pixels make out in a
Yeah.
to my viewers. You know what I mean? I'm just sat there looking at viewers like, what the fuck's going on? I
I
don't know. Like, help me out, chat. Or help me out.
I think like if we go onto the subject of relationship RP though, it can make immense viewing.
Yes,
It can make it immense. Like if someone goes cheating or if someone dumps someone, it can be really juicy. But
I'm not gonna lie. I find it cringe.
yeah, if you don't call me a good role player, if I can't
No,
ERP, then I'll take that.
I'm saying this right now. To those who do it, do your thing. But to me, I'm never touching an inch of fucking like mine. The relationship IRP with that I have is she rings me up, says, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm good," and she's like, "All right, what you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm with the boys." "All right, catch you later, bye." Put phone down. Like that's all I'm doing. I call her babe, and that's it. Right?
Hmm.
If it goes any further, that's it. I'm calling it off.
She's blooded out. She's water dumped.
Yeah, that's
Can't
it.
tell no one.
I'm just saying, see this number? Yeah, forget it. See you
Have you ever
later.
been? Have you ever been on a dating role play?
Not like I won't say like an official proper like sitting down eating dinner, but I have taken like I took Ava to the observatory
Mm.
and that's where we made it official. But it was like literally 5 minutes.
I've never done it, but I've had mates that have done it, and one of my mates done it once, and he was like, "I just wanted to try it," and he said, "I'm never doing it again." He
No,
was, "I'm never doing it again."
on No Pixel 3.0, they used to have a restaurant called Maldini's, and it was like a pizza place. And the one time I used to play a character called Smokey the Bandit, who was like an ex like Southside gangbanger, and he got addicted to meth, and he's in like this house, and he's seen these two people on a date, and I'm not joking. I was sat there speechless the whole entire time watching these two talk and like do slash me twiddles, like rubs foot on his leg, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit, they're gonna take it in a bathroom in a minute, you know. I was like, what the fuck? And then I just remember seeing that, and ever since I've seen that, I was like, mate, I no.
Yeah, it's just,
I was like, yeah, fuck that. That's
I'm
weird.
not. We'll have to hear from people in the comments. Well, I want to know what do people think of it. Do you think it's cringe or do you respect someone's role play level? I don't know.
I respect it, but I
I
also
do. I
find it
do. Yeah.
like I also find it like because the thing is, right, we're on the surface level of this iceberg of GTRP.
Yeah.
And then the top of it is like, gangs, drugs, shooting, police, having fun. The bottom end of it is shit that you don't want to go to ERP. You know what I mean? Like private Discord calls, shit like that. I've heard it happen, and it's happened many times, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm staying way away from that.
Wow, look at the fucking recent thing from No Pixel.
Oh, fucking Moon. Nah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. That's what I mean. Bro. Like that's
Right.
like out. That's one thing I'm scared of. Imagine like you're on a date with someone and you stay with them, and then eventually they start messaging you out of city like, "Hey, what you up to? You want to play any games?" And that and you're like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it." And then you end up spending majority of time with her, and then next thing you know, you're dating and you're going out, and then you've got kids, and then the kids come at you, "Dad, how did you meet Mum?" "Oh yeah, I was RPing on this server." "Oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'll get a girlfriend." And next thing you know, fucking YouTube popped out. I'm like, no, it's
I
weird.
do know a lot of people that like got together through like game. I mean, fair play to some people. Like, yeah, it's out there.
I
But
mean, if it happens, right?
yeah, I just yeah, I don't even know how that. Oh yeah, you had a girlfriend. That's how we got onto this conversation. But it's an interesting topic that I've never spoken about on the podcast.
Yeah, I won't go no further than just having.
I tell you one thing: time 2 after 12 o'clock on a Saturday is ERP Central. I went on PD last week after my episode with Shano,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What? Where am I?" Everywhere I went was ERP. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, "What is going
No.
on? Like, someone shoot me or like?"
I think it was like the first 2 weeks into the server. I was going around as Beetle doing chopping to get money to get rolls for Bahamas to go wash them. And I remember just driving around, and I kept seeing this car circling, and I thought, "The fuck are they going to try like rob me, or what are they doing?" And I just sat parked up in this spot with like other cars around me, and I just seen this car pull into somewhere, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I've obviously followed him. And I don't know what was going on, but she was bent over the hood and he was stood behind her. And I'm not even joking. It was like catching someone that you know, like having like set. I did a 180 straight back to the car. I was running, got in my car and drove out of there and just fucking said, "That's it, I'm calling it a night." It was off stream as well. If I'd have caught it on stream, I'd have put it all on blast. I'd have made TikToks and everything. It was so weird. I was like, because she was doing like the mechanical thing on the car, and then he was stood behind her. And I just thought, that's a weird position to stand behind someone if they're fixing your car, right? I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's over and done with. I mean, me and Shano have actually caught people out on the first original server, TRP. We've actually caught people ERPing. Like, fully, like, slash me's, kisses.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I like messaged Shano saying, "Mate, this is fucking weird. Get me out of here now." He was like, "Yeah, let's go. It's fucking weird. It's crazy."
When I had my server, obviously when two people are alone in roleplay, not streaming, they think they are alone. And we used to watch people all the time. And some of the shit we saw some people once, like they'd done this emote where they're like carrying, like he was carrying her, and for 20 minutes, it was just a case of, it was genuinely 20 minutes of I love you more. No, I love you more. Whilst they're kissing.
Yeah.
They're like, right, I've got to go, but I love you more. 20 minutes it went on.
No.
But what's funny was, and I don't mind doxing the guy, I'm not naming him because he's a twat. But it was so funny because he used to role play the massive gangster, or he tried to.
Yeah.
So he'd literally be stood there for 20 minutes doing this, go down the road and like threaten to shoot everyone. I was like, leave off, mate. I said, I've just caught you saying I love you more for 20 minutes, you freak. It was absolutely crazy. Some of the stuff that happens in roleplay behind the scenes is comical.
Oh, especially in Bahamas when that was open the first like 2 weeks. I literally sat there with game sound off on my stream, talking to my stream because
the trouble is, we've come from No Pixel, haven't we?
Yes.
And No Pixel's a weird place as well. Some people over there say crazy shit, but other stuff is gone.
Like, gone. Like you could. I don't even know examples because the thing is,
if you done T/, I think it's more the action, isn't it? So like someone in No Pixel got T/me under zipper, boom, Bahamad, gone. You're not coming back. But if you went oh, if you said, I'm going to take your pants off in a minute and bum ya, it's fine.
Yes,
With,
yeah.
but like you say, the start of time 2 was quite ruthless, especially in a strip club. And I suppose you're like yourself, you're sort of sat there like, oh, no, don't
Well,
say that.
it was a stripper, and some guy was saying he was proper, and I mean like proper vulgar shit. And as Beetle just kicking off, he was like, "Ah, shut the fuck up, man! I'm trying to clear my mind. I don't want to hear no porno. Shut up!" And the guy was like, "Hey, man, I'm talking to the lady over here. Shut up!" And then everyone just turned on him and was like, "Mate, you need to take it down a level. You are moving crazy, bro. Like some weird shit is
Some of the
going on
girls are
there."
just as bad though.
Yes, 100%, 100%, 110%.
I'm,
I
I'm
fuck that.
that place was that. I think it's kind of a good thing that place is shut down because some of the girls in there are saying stuff, and you're like, I don't mind it. I fuck it. We're all adults, and I think that's why time 2 is quite good. But you never know your limit, do you?
See, that's the thing with me. I'm like, as a role player, especially, like, I'm very scared to do certain things.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, so obviously with Beetle being the character that he is and being very small, he he wants to like he wants to put the message across that don't call me small. You know what I mean? If you call him small, he's gonna fuck you up. And over the past like 2 days, I've really shown that like I've stabbed Jackson,
yeah,
and another officer outside hospital got away with it. And then Curtis was like calling me small and shit, and I said, "I'll stab you." And he's like, I dare you to stab me." And I was like, "Don't say that." He's like, "I dare you." So I stabbed him and got let off. But then obviously, it's just like certain stuff that you want to do. Like you want to just like grab a car. Say like someone's taking a piss out your cop, get in his car, put him in the back, drive into a gas pump, jump out. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's like crazy shit. That's usually like the SBS type of stuff Beetle does. Is like
mm,
I'm afraid to do it just in case. Like okay, you're getting a week ban. You know what I mean? It's just like
yeah. I. It's tough, isn't it? I get what you mean because there's a lot of funny stuff that you can do. Um, you never know. Roleplay's scary. Roleplay is scary, but as long as you sort of know who you're dealing with, you're pretty safe, aren't you? Most of the
yeah, I think
time.
most of the time, yeah. I think there's only been one like occasion in the past where I've done something and I thought the person who I did it to would be like, "Oh, that was funny as fuck," but then I
Mm,
was like, "Nah, it's not funny. You've actually pissed me off," and I'm like, "Well,
get
you know what I
over it.
mean?" Yeah, I'm just like, "Well, it's no problem, is it? It's no big. You're like, fucking, it's not my fault. You said this." So and then they're like, "Oh," and then like it's got taken to a ticket, and then they've just been like, "Look, you're both friends. Get over it," pretty much.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing as well? This is like back to that Colin situation the other day, and you were saying, right, I'm making a ticket to end this situation. Everyone was like, you're done, and you're like, the viewers, you're like, you have no idea how powerful a ticket can be, of what it can do to someone because they
Yeah,
made a mistake in a fucking video game.
like everyone took it out of context. I literally said, "I am making a ticket to get this like storyline done, dusted,"
Mm,
because what people didn't see from our point of view was Colin was coming after us for like 2 weeks, and then the boys themselves did a lot of shit to Colin, got him, and then the one time where he got ocean dumped, and then his boys were outside the hospital telling him what happened. So we were all like, When's it going to end?"
yeah.
We're trying to end it without, because what his whole intention was to kill Doug to get payback on all of Moist. And
Mm,
I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Like, try do it quick, not quickly, but don't drag it out. Because when you start to drag it out, it gets boring and it's just like everyone gets fed up. And that's what happened. And then for me, that was the last straw when I, so I didn't, I was pissed off at the fact that the cops didn't allow us to continue the scene when I took him to the hospital.
mm,
Because what was going to happen after that was I was going to play like a sad song on YouTube Music, put a shotgun to his head, talk to him, and say, "Colin, this ends now. Like now, and you're not doing anything else to us, or this ends now." And then shoot him in the head. And then obviously, as I shoot him in the head, the cops are going to shoot me down. You know what I mean? So it's like a standoff in a way. And then obviously, the certain cop Rupert come. We was talking, and next thing you know, I don't know what happened on the cop side, but they just lit us both up.
really?
Yeah, and I was just
I
like,
didn't see that bit.
So I started running around with a shotgun blasting cops, and then I got took down, and then Tony took me to one side and says, "What's going on?" And I was like, "What's going on is the cops have just literally ruined 3 hours of me finding Colin." Obviously, he said that I could go War Sealy, you know what I mean? He was like, "No one's around, whisper." So I told him, and I just said, "I'm pissed off." I said, "At the end of the day, I've been doing this for 3 hours now, searching for Colin, and you guys have just literally ruined it within 15 minutes."
Mm.
And I was like, as a cop, you've got to understand that we don't just find someone, kill them. We put a lot of time and effort into it. Not ICELY as well. Obviously, we think about what we could do if we get, like me. I'm always thinking. I'm always seeing it as a TV show. If I get this person, what can I do with him to make it interesting? What could the next step be to make, like the next episode in a way. You know what I mean? I'm always thinking like that, and it just ruins it when it ends like that with a click of a finger.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try and end stuff very, very quickly, and it's very frustrating when you've come from places which are long storylines and you think you need to switch it up, or rather, let's go, 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 go. It's like, right, bit at a time. Like I'm like yourself from No Pixel, and No Pixel is a very, very good server, and a lot. Actually, fucking bollocks. I don't like No Pixel. No Pixel has very good, talented role players in it.
Yes.
And like even in wars, Speedy is a very good example. It's war, war, war. But you hit them hard, and then everyone goes back to normal life for an
Yeah.
hour or two, and then you hit them again, and again because it's the best for the server, and that's the best. You keep things going, and you understand when to come to an end. And back to what you were saying about with Colin, with water dumping him. I think with this server, people need to take water dumping more seriously, which I think they do. But I think when you're water dumped, it's memory gone. Anyone ever mentioned? So let's use Colin as an example at the moment. Anyone says, "Do you know Beetle?" Who? Who's that? Oh, you remember Beetle? I saw Beetle take you. I don't know what you're on about. It's. I think it's so much cleaner if you just go. It's like they're speaking French. If
I
people
think
try and remind you, you're like, I don't know.
I think on that point, I wouldn't say like forget every single thing, but like the whole thing for that scenario or something based. Like say for instance, if I water dumped him because we kicked him out or we killed him, he forgets the whole entire scenario just to save people. But then this is the thing, people will abuse that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could say for instance, one of your boys could kill me, ocean dump me, then I forget everything then, and then you know what I mean? It's not, so it's a bit of a tricky one. I mean, in certain situations, like for instance that with Colin where it was going on too long, I think it should be like, yeah, right, okay, ocean dump, leave him. It's over and done with now. We won't go any further. Maybe down a few weeks to a month down the line, he remembers something, you know what I mean? A little piece of information that then spirals into the whole situation again where he can try it again, you know what I mean? But I just feel like some people on the server play into the e-gangster role too much. And it's like, as Beetle talks shit. It's his character. You know what I mean? It's not me thinking I'm an hard twat. It's Beetle's little man syndrome. You know what I mean? Anyone taller than him is always aggressive to because that's just Beetle, right? And people need to like remember I'm not attacking them just because I'm a dick. It's because Beetle, that's the character. And then people are like instantly on smoke. You know what I mean?
We done the same from the start, and I'll completely agree with you. And we done it at the start as the firm, but on a fresh server, you always want to, especially if you're a gang, you want to get your name out. But we used to say anyone who comes down the block kicking off, its phone's gone, like wiped, and then you want that reputation of don't go down there, but they would always come back. So you
Yeah.
end up water dumping them, and then you provide shit role play.
Yes.
But you're right. A lot of people, and we done the same thing. You want to be the biggest gang. If you're a gang, ideally you want to at least be up there, because otherwise, what's the point? So, but you also want to enforce the fear, which is very, very hard in role play, isn't it? Really hard.
Yeah. So I feel like with the whole gang scene, I think we've got a good like spread of gangs.
Mm.
You've got like, I'll be truthful, like me, I'm a shit shooter. Like
You're fucking pretty good, I swear.
I'm not too bad. I'm not. I'm pretty. pretty rusty at the moment with it because I haven't done it for a long time. But when I get back into it, I'm not the best. I can't like 4v1 people, but I can take out people. But like with Moist Boys, I think Moist Boys is like what every other gang should take apart is when we do stuff, it's not to look the biggest or hardest. It's just to drive content.
Yeah.
It's we don't care about the L's, we don't care about the W's, we don't care how much money we lose. If we create like something good out of that situation, it's fine, right? It's like the whole one with the offenders. The thing that like got me annoyed was, and I've spot my opinion about it, was the whole thing of like they was moving to like so they said like you either let us do this or we're gonna come and kill you. And it was like, okay, no, that's not how it works. You either come to a compromise. And he's like, yeah, that is a compromise. And I was like, do you know what I mean? Just because you've got people who can shoot, same with the front line, because you've got people who can shoot in your gang, doesn't necessarily mean you lose all fear for every other gang out there.
Yeah.
Because we could start doing some right shit of getting cars and fucking, explode them in your block, getting helicopters, jumping out at, dropping missiles on your fucking whole block with helicopters, jumping out with parachutes, letting it drop down, explode. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't really want to do that at all. You know what I mean? It's not my intention to ruin anyone's day. It's just I feel like within the gang scene, it's a lot of gangs are like, we are the big dogs, we are this and stuff. And it's like instead of thinking, oh, let us look absolutely good, just think about, okay, what can we do for content?
I think from a point of view, like you said, though, people need to take a leaf out of your book. I agree. I think there's only space for one content gang. And I think, in my opinion, you guys have your... I don't even want to say you have your own, like, sort of individual rules, because that's not... You're not breaking rules. But if there was multiple gangs like yours, the server would be a shithole. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like an unwritten rule. If you want to be crazy and chaotic, like everyone does want, you need to be with Moist or hang around with them. And you have your but the good thing is in here, you have your different vibes, don't you? If you want to shoot, you join Frontliner Offenders.
Yes.
If you want to go for the serious vibe, Firm, OBT, Vipers, who obviously now got, but you know what I mean? There's loads of different aspects.
And if you want to just join the fucking shithead gang who just fuck around 24/7, it is Moist.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like I said this to Shano, Gully, and Tommy when they first joined OOC. We created a Discord just to have it there, just so we knew. And I just literally said in it, like, first message I said was, I don't care what happens to us, just as long as we have fun and people watching us have a lot of fun.
Well, and you've done an awesome job.
Like I said, I genuinely can't believe how far it's actually come within the terms of like, I wouldn't say we're the biggest. Do you know what I mean? Like strongest. We're really not. But the I'm not even going to say the best to watch because that just sounds big-headed. You know what I mean? That just sounds like I've got an ego.
You boys don't give a fuck though. You go for the content, which is at the end of the day what viewers want. Viewers are there for the content, and if there's something to be done, it will be done. And I'm very jealous of that kind of mindset because you boys just go, right, let's rob a jewelry store. Oh, have we got this in place? Have we got this in place? No,
we just wing it. We just
right. Let's just go.
Yeah,
and that would give me anxiety.
Nice, because the thing is, like I said, me personally as a streamer, like the last thing I want to do is go to jail and sit there for 5 hours grinding out weight benches for the stream, right? But as Beetle, he don't give a fuck. He don't care. You know what I mean? He could go to prison for a lifetime. He'd still find something to do in prison. Do you know what I mean? He'd eventually escape somehow, some way. You know what I mean? He'd end up finding a way. He'd ring Solomon and ask Solomon if they could figure something out. And with the whole entire gang as well, you've got like your Salim, who's absolutely chaotic. You can't. No one can control Salim. You know what I mean? You've got Abdul and Fumbles, who are like the workhorses. They put in all. I'm not even going to give credit to everyone else in the gang. Abdul and Salim have done so fucking much for the gang. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have mostly everything.
Do you know what? And I have heard that someone said to him, would you be happy to come on here? And apparently he said he's up for it. And I hope so. I would love to speak to him because of how much he does grind
Yes.
He doesn't give a flying fuck what happens to it.
No.
And again, I don't know how you can do that. Because in my mind, I'd be going, I've spent 6 fucking hours getting all this materials or this gun for someone else to lose it. And he just doesn't care. I don't know how he mentally does that. I'd be livid.
I think it's just like the way I see it is like it's a game, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like they're not things that mean something to me personally, IRL. You know what I mean? Like if I lose a gun, it's 50k. It's like what 3 hours on roof running,
Yeah.
3 hours that I could do off stream. You know what I mean? Or I could easily just go half an hour a day, grind for 6 days. You know what I mean? And then get that money back and just go buy another one. It's just all about like, I don't know. I think us as a group, I think we're wired differently. Whereas some guys are like, "Oh, let's not do this. That is very stupid. We will lose a lot of stuff." Whereas like, we're like, "Nah, it'd be fun. Let's do it." You know what I mean?
Gear fear, isn't it? Gear fear.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do have gear fear. Where it's like, you're in a shootout and you're like, "Oh fuck, I've got Oxy, I've got armor plates that cost me like 4k. I've got a gun
Yeah.
that just cost me 50. I'll lose it." And then eventually, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm having fun. Let's just go for it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just fun.
I will openly admit I'm so jealous of people that can do that. My brain goes, no, you've been planting fucking 1,000 crops all fucking morning. You're not wasting that. But then I suppose the content is kind of what you're building up to, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'll let you in on a bit of a secret. Yesterday when the containers was going down, we was gonna rob everyone's container.
Hmm.
So, for instance, when they were checking it, we'd then hold them up, and then I was like, "It's not a good idea.
No.
Let's not do that because so many people are gonna be so pissed off, and we are gonna be at war with every single body." And we all decided, like, yeah, it's not a good idea. Let's just not do that.
Yeah.
So we backed out of it. But that what we was gonna do it yesterday. We was gonna rob you, the old man, everyone that bought some. Imagine.
Well, I think it's lucky Colin said at the end, didn't he? Did you hear that? Colin at the end went, listen, if anyone fucks with anyone here, it's big consequences. Just remember
Yeah,
that.
I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
thank fuck.
That and yeah, I would have been fucking 320k. My container was. I'd be fuming. I would not end a war with you over that. Never.
No, I was like, no, you know what it is. I was like, I think if we, I literally said, if we do this, I was like, there's no coming back. We are over and
No.
done with. We are going to
Yeah,
get
but you.
rolled by every single gun. And this is what I was saying. Like, I was saying this to the boys. Like, it's fun to start beef with people, but try not to start as beef with as many people as possible because then we want to survive. You know what I mean? There's so much that you can do before it starts to go south.
Yeah. But do you know another thing as well? People need to. I've always said from day one with Jimbo and Salim, you have to respect their character of not, and the same as you have to kind of respect gang bosses. Salim and Jimbo are crazy role players, psychotic. And their kind of role play is it's not a fear for life, it's their character. They will come down and fight 10 people in one hit.
Yes.
So a gang needs to fear them, in my opinion.
That's
So
that's exactly what I was saying, right? We've especially Salim because you genuinely don't know what that guy's gonna do.
no.
Like in it's like a joke in gang when we find something new. Like we've got spike strips, and we're like, yeah, don't hide him from Salim, hide him. And like, why? I'm like, because just fucking hide him. Do not let Salim get his hands on these spike strips. I'm like, why? Like, I think it was someone was saying why, and I was like, he's gonna use him, and he's gonna start a war. Please do not. And then and it's just stuff like that. Like if we find a gun, everyone's like, yeah, right, keep that away from Salim. And it's just like we know what he's gonna do. He's either gonna shoot someone with it to cause a war, or he's gonna go shoot cops, and everything's just gonna go fucking south.
He must have the most fun ever because he causes so much shit. He doesn't have to deal with none of it.
The
But
thing is, I feel like that's like so. This is what I was saying in my chat yesterday. Is that's what Beetle was like in No Pixel. He
Mm.
caused so much shit. He just never give a fuck about anyone's opinions. Like, he'd go on a Changang, start, like, talking to Changang, and they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he'd be like, you know, just splitting shit. "I'm friends with someone in the gang," and they'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Yeah, what's his name?" And I'd say Tony, and they'd be like, "There's no Tony." And I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" And then they'd say his name. You know, stuff like that. Beetle was just careless. And it wasn't him, like you said, it wasn't him being crazy, it was more of him being stupid. He didn't see the dangers. And like, say for instance, with you, the whole shit that we started with you, I started shit with the ballers, I started shit with the Vargos. You know what I mean? I just caused chaos for everyone. Anywhere Beetle went, it cares. But then I said to the chat, like, the reason I don't want to bring that type of Beetle back is because imagine two people in the gang causing absolute shit.
Do you I think it was Saf who gave us advice. Do you think as a streamer we should like give commentary like a YouTube video, which works on YouTube very well, where you go, right, Beetle is now going to do this, and do you think that would flip the whole perspective? Or let's use Beetle as an example. You imagine if you went, right, here's what I'm going to do, chat. I am going to spin Cosney and the offenders together, and they're probably going to find out, and it's going to come back on me. But should we do it? And the chat's going to go, yeah. Do you think that's a better idea as a streamer?
So that's sometimes I do that. Like, I do ask chat for advice of what to do in a certain situation. And it's just more of making them feel more involved as well, right? Instead of being like, right, I'm chat, like, you know, I'm gonna go do this quickly. And they're like, well, what is it that you're doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go kill this person. And it's just like, oh, thanks. You know what I mean? But then if you say,
Mm.
like, chat, we're in war right now. I've just seen this person down here. What should we do? And they're either gonna say, go fuck him up, kidnap him, or leave it. You know what I mean? And I'll just roll with whatever chat says.
You
To the
have
point,
to.
obviously, not to the point of like where chat says like, you know, jump off the roof, like, you know, stuff like that. I keep it in the
Mm.
rules, but obviously when it comes to certain situations like that, I do look for chat for advice.
Mm.
They're very good as well. Can give you like
So-
a lot of ideas as well. You know, sometimes they'll say like, instead of running down there shooting him, how about you go down, befriend him, and then you meet up
and
with him later, and then you kidnap
again,
him.
I believe this was the same conversation with Saf, like where you've got meta and backseat gaming, but sometimes, especially backseat gaming rather than meta, it's in everyone's benefit. If they give you a better way to do something, then fuck, in my opinion, roll with it.
So my chat do it a lot. Is rather, or it's not even my chat. It's chat hoppers from, like, say for instance, Doug is down. He's just crashed his car, but he was doing something. I'll be on 50 viewers. I'll get 100, 300 saying, Doug is dead. You need to go help him. He's here. And I'm like, oh, well
I
done. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Or, like, for instance, do you know Babatunde?
kinda.
It's like HQ's
Yeah. I know that.
kingpin
Yeah.
sort of character. He told Doug that there was a snitch in Moist, and we had to do like jobs, like little tasks, to get the information. And um everyone thought it was me. I was like, Beetle, you're a snitch. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, where does this come from? And they're like, yeah, you're a dirty little snitch. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, hang on, where's this come from? You know, and it's just like shit like that when chat hoppers come over. And then there's sometimes backseat gaming saying eat. And I'm like, I can genuinely say I need to eat, but I'm in the middle of a scene. I'm not going to eat now. And then, like, it'll literally get to the last point and I'll eat. And they'll be like, wow, took you that long.
That's my
I'm like,
favorite one is being told to eat and drink because I always
I'm like,
forget.
I know what I'm fucking doing. I'm not going to
I
let
don't.
Beatles starve, bro. It's like, fucking
I
hell.
I will. That's my favorite meta. Please tell me to
No,
eat.
it's just annoying when, like, you'll be doing something. Like, I'm being in the middle of a scene talking, and I'll look to my left and I'll just see eat. And I'm like, yeah, chat, I'm talking. Can you not see I'm talking? I don't want to say 2 minute eat. Yeah, what we're talking about? You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, you roll it out. Keep rolling with it.
They love, the trouble is, as a viewer, they love to be involved as much as possible. Hence, like a live interactive show, don't they? Which is tricky in roleplay. Very, very tricky. And it's very hard to sometimes include them, especially big scenes as well. Like in a big scene, best thing you should really do is put emote only on. But it's not fair to your loyal people that want to comment. But big scenes are so tough because you could get one snippet of a chat and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's like one person that does it a lot, and it's not even drilling him out. He's new to the game. I totally understand it. Is Tommy?
mm,
Is you'd be driving around the city and you'd be talking, and he'd be blank, and you'd be like screaming at Tommy, "What you doing?" And he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. I was just, looking at demons." And it's like, I've given him advice, and he's actually done well with the advice that I've given him. You know what I mean? Because like I said, one thing that I'm 100% proud of Moist Boys as well is giving all these people that didn't stream beforehand.
yeah,
Like obviously you had me, Ginge, Abdul, Salim, and Ramon that streamed, and obviously Gully, but Gully wasn't like he was big on his own server.
mm.
But then obviously I've brought Gully over, Shano over, who stopped streaming. And then I messaged him out of the blue saying there's a server opened up, you're coming back, and he was like, I'll be there. And then Tommy, we met Tommy one random night in the city, and he was just like, "Oh, what's you guys called?" And I was like, "I'm Beetlejuice and Gully." And honestly, it was the funniest interaction I've ever had in RP. He was sat there saying, "I've made friends for life." He was crying on us, saying that he snitched to the PD, giving him false names like Callum Gayson. I was like, "Who the fuck's that?" And he's like, "Some guy I met earlier," but it were his voice, how he was acting. And I just instantly said, "You know what it is?" That's when it clicked in my head. I was like, "This is the gang."
Mm.
We've got Tommy who's like afraid of everything, afraid of like the little brother. And you know what I mean? And then I just started adding people in. Like I seen Salim and Abdul were chilling together, and obviously Ginge was chilling with them two as well. So I was like, you know what, I'll bring them two in it. And then Ginge joined. Then it was Keith. Who else? I think it was Ketchup as well. We brought him in,
Where
and then
is
it
Keith?
just
Is Keith banned or is he just playing FIFA?
FIFA. That's
Ah,
literally. This is what I was saying. Everyone keeps saying, "Is Moist Boys falling apart?" No, we are not. We are not
mm,
falling apart. We are, truthfully, we are the strongest we have been in a long time. Right here, right now. The only reason why people think it is because you don't see half of the people because they're playing FIFA or they're taking a day off.
mm,
And it's just like, no, it's just Keith has decided to go play FIFA like mad instead of jumping on
yeah.
the server.
I haven't seen him in ages, and I did wonder. Yeah.
No, same with Doug. Everyone thinks Doug's like stop playing. It's like, no, it's just
Oh, it's
he's
crazy. The
playing FIFA.
comments. Oh, he owns a server. He's not even playing it. Like fuck it. Let the man started on fucking FIFA. Like,
Exactly, like this is what I was saying. Like, in my opinion, like if I was at the level Ginger's where he can stream on GTA and have like 7,000, but then when he goes out of FIFA, he's got double that. He's got 15K. Like to me, I choose one that I'm having most fun on. You know what I mean? Because you've got
yeah.
them views. But as us, me and you, we have to stream GTA.
Yeah, if I absolutely love Rust, and if someone said you can stream the same viewers to Rust now the rest of your life, I'd do it in a fucking heartbeat.
See,
But
I
and
like
like,
playing. That's me. I like playing multiple games. I play single player games, multiplayer games.
mm,
You know what I mean? I've jumped back into WoW recently. And
mm,
I've been staying up until like 8 in the morning playing WoW because I don't get to do it on stream. And then when I jump off stream, I'm like, I'm bored. I'm not tired. So
there's
I'll just play WoW.
something with viewers as well. Like, if you're not known for being a variety streamer, which is really hard to pull off, if
Yes.
someone ever sees you play another game, they automatically think, I'm not watching him. He doesn't play GT anymore.
Like
I, I don't
I
do it anymore.
well the thing is it's like with me, I said this, my content is always like what I should really be big on is people think my role play is really good, which I think is standard. You know what I mean? Playing Beetlejuice, it's not really, as good as like, say for instance, someone who's got a very serious scene ongoing, with like, say for instance, a girlfriend and stuff and the cheating and stuff, that kind of shit. Where mine's just bullshit, you know what I mean? It's just short brain syndrome. I'm just going out there, I'm just fucking around. But my content, what I should really do, and I guarantee it, like people would enjoy it more if they give me a chance, is horror games. Because I'm the biggest pussy alive when it comes to scary stuff. Like, I don't even watch scary films because I'm terrified. You
Horror
know,
games never seem to do that well though, do they?
they used to back like fucking what 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
But now it's not. Now it's literally rather FIFA, COD, or GTA 5.
I think roleplay is so popular because you are literally speaking to other people. It's very rare you get another game like that, or it's very rare you know like the outcome. Horror game, you know your streamer's going to jump. Roleplay, no one has a
Yeah, it's
clue what's
just
going to happen, and it's
unexpected.
it's it's a drama TV series,
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
people get so invested. I just wish they realized, like EastEnders, if the main character shags a fucking brother or something, it's not real. You don't Google that actress to email and say, "You're a fucking weirdo, you
Yeah.
are." I wish people would understand that. We're essentially actors, aren't we?
I said this to my chat. Asked me like, if you wasn't streaming and you could have like what's like everyone thinks streaming is my dream job, and I was like, it's not. It's
I
what I'm
was going to
doing.
ask you that. Yeah, I was going to ask you what is the goal, but we
Oh,
just got carried away.
do you mean for streaming wise?
What is your goal? I mean, if you're obviously you're partnered now, and you obviously just said then it's not your dream goal. So where do you want to end up? Where is this the gateway to?
I mean, my overall dream job from being very very young was to be an actor or a comedian. And obviously that's why I think I'm good at voices and acting as like as these characters that I've created, right? Like I'm very good with doing voices, and to me, it's like it's like a subline, like a tree branch of acting, because technically that's what you're doing. You're acting. You just don't have a script. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's all off the top of your head. So it's like improv in a way. And I'm not even gonna lie, I've fallen in love with it. Like I love streaming. And if this is my job forever, then I'm happy with it. I've very concerned I can do this for the rest of my life. But
Do you do it full time now, or are you still working?
yeah, so I quit Morrison's in August, just before
Oh,
the server dropped.
okay.
Because
So this is full time now, is it?
yeah, so it's full time. It's full
Awesome.
it's full time. At the moment in time, I think it's just sort of on on like a steady incline. You know what I mean? It drops, it rises. You know what I mean? It's just
Mm,
it's all a game of Twitch. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, if this is my job that I do for the rest of my life, I'm happy with it.
yeah. But
But
but you'd ideally like to be as an actor, yeah?
yeah, voice actors doing voices for like games, TV shows. You know what I mean?
You are very good at voices. You are very good at it.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Or like a comedian, which many
Mm.
people have told me I should be a comedian, but
Yeah, I suppose with being role play, you can be whoever what you want to be, can't you? So you can
yeah, the
push towards
sky's
whatever
the
goal
limit.
you want. Yeah, but it's true, and all you got to do is get noticed, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, like a famous quote. I think this is from Dust Monkey. Angry Ginge could fart to 10,000 people.
Yeah, he
So
really.
you, if you get big enough, you can do whatever you want.
The whole goal for me is to get popular to where I'm having like talking about like viewers and stuff, to have like every stream to have like 300 viewers would be like, okay, this is where I've made it.
Yeah,
Because there's times where I have like 400 viewers, and like obviously our money comes from subs,
yeah,
and no one's subbing, and I'm just like, I don't. Me personally, I think it's very cheeky and very like sort of not disrespectful, but I don't really ask. You know what I mean? I don't really say like, oh, can we reach this, sub goal today, please? You know what I mean? I don't really say, oh, can you guys sub? You know what I mean? But then sometimes I feel like if I don't ask, you don't get, but I
yeah.
also feel like really bad at the same time for asking. But that is like
I
as main source of income.
my personal opinion is all, and I will point blank say to everyone, this is the way I do it. All I want, I think it's gone up on mobile, but whatever. All I want is one sub. You deserve that for whether your streams are fucking hour long. You're like, I have provided you with entertainment for let's say you're gonna probably most streamers will do 40 hours a week, I'd say. Anyone that's
Um,
classed themselves as full time or part time, that equates to 40 pence an hour. And whether they watch you for 10 hours No, it's not even 40 pence, is it? I don't know. Whatever. But I think one sub, but then I do appreciate from viewers, they watch multiple people, that adds up. But yeah, I think from my point of view, my job, I warrant £4.50. And I'm not afraid to like put jokes into that. But if you can't afford it, then do you know what I mean?
No,
I'm not going.
that's the only reason I don't ask is because I don't know if people can. I have got people who have willingly just come in one day and just said, "Oh, there's 25 subs. I
Yeah.
enjoy your stream," and I'm just like, "What the fuck? You've
Th-
come out of nowhere, right?"
They're people like that are nuts. Like but they do it, don't they? They just come out of nowhere and drop bombs, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean,
oh.
Tommy, he got fucking. I think the other day he got like 100 gifted, and like he was literally like he wasn't speaking in the city for about an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tommy, are you good? Like last night, he got 50, he got 100 from like not from one person, from multiple different people. I think someone gifted him 60 somewhat subs, and then someone else gifted like 20, and another gifted 30. And he was just like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "You good?" He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I don't know what to say." He's like, "If you need to look in my eyes," but he was like, "I genuinely don't know what to say."
I tell you what as well, like especially with how much Twitch does take, some of these viewers that are very, very supportive, and you can't put it into words on a camera, but these people that do some pretty insane stuff have no idea how much they do genuinely help, because it's not easy being a streamer.
No,
You have to be a big level to
make
pay
like
your
a
to pay your
yes,
bills and fucking have a day off.
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Like
Um,
that's what I mean. Like I was saying this the other day to someone. Someone came in the chat and was like, "Your partner, does that change anything?" And I was like, "Nope." I was like, "You go back 3 years ago, you automatically had the 70-30 split.
mm,
Whereas now, which I said still to this day I don't agree with, and I'll say it as clear as day. It's no hate, no like bad mouthing her out. But I said once you hit partner, you should automatically, no matter what, get that 70-30 split.
yeah,
Even if you get even if you don't have the level 2 plus. Like I said the whole plus thing I think is ridiculous. How there's some
mm,
people out there who have the level +2, but I'm a partner and I don't even have it.
yeah.
I think it
It's
should go back to the old ways, and especially if like I remember before, if you was partner, you got like quests and stuff. So you played like a few hours on League of Legends, you get like 200 quid.
mm.
I think they should bring stuff like that back in.
I,
Whereas now it's just like to me, you get no reward for being partner.
you get nothing. You
You get
just
nothing. It's
you
just
can just
literally a tick.
flex. Yeah,
That's why everyone was like, "Oh, how do you feel?" And I was like, It's an achievement. Don't get me wrong. It is the achievement that when you're a Twitch streamer you go for,
yeah,
but it's useless
yeah.
to the
Um,
point of like all it does is give you a bit of recognition in other people's chat when you go type in and they see the tick and they're
literally.
like, "Oh, you're
Which
right,
does
mate."
feel good though, doesn't it?
It does,
You're all
it does,
like,
it does,
"Hey
it does.
guys."
When people are like, "Congratulations on reaching partner," it's like, "Oh shit, I
It
actually made
is
it," right?
when you hang around with like-minded people, like in Time 2, there's a lot of partner streamers. You do forget how hard it is to get. It's not
It
easy.
is it is that's one thing I said, like, it was the journey of getting it that was rewarding,
Yeah.
not necessarily the rewards that you get from being partner, which is it's like deflating when you get there and
Mm.
it's like, "Oh, I'm a partner. What do I get?" "Oh, you get
A
nothing."
badge.
It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so what the fuck? What am I doing?"
It's annoying as well with Twitch as well how they seem to have changed their gear because Kick was ruining them at one point. So they went, shit. It's annoying that someone else had to come about for Twitch to do so. And like you say with the Partner Plus thing, it's a trick. I agree and disagree, but it's like a promotion at work, right? If you want more money, go and get it. So, and it's another goal to keep you grinding. So I've got Partner Plus 1, which once you get it, it stays. Or I think you
That's
lock
one
it for
thing,
a year, don't
like,
you?
yeah, you lock it free. Like, I was thinking this the other day to myself, like, I wanna that's the next thing I wanna achieve is level
Mm,
2. I think I've reached partner once for a month, and I just need 2 more months in a row. And I was thinking to myself, like, if I put in, like a subscription goal saying 300 subs, you know, within this month, if I can reach that 3 months in a row, I'm happy as Larry. You know what I mean? I've done
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. But it's just, I hate, and some streamers do it. Some streamers say, if you don't give 15 within the next hour, I'm gone. I'm
Yeah.
ending your stream. And I feel like that does engage if they really like your content, they do that. But I just feel like it's like not a scumbag way, but I just feel like it's the wrong way to go about it.
I do get you. It's a tricky one. But I think like I suppose it's very, very rare I've done it because I stream a lot. But sometimes if I want to go and they're like, don't, I've gone, fuck it. You want me to stay? Pay. Because at the end of the day, it is your job. But I get what you mean. Like, but it's a tricky one because I suppose we be envious of the people that realize it is your job. You are your product and you are selling your product. I suppose I suppose people just got to do it their way, whatever they're happiest, haven't they? But we are selling ourselves and we are merchandise and we are there to sell. And the hourly wage that we get is probably 50% less of minimum wage unless you are at a great level.
I said this, if I put in the hours that I put into streaming at work, I'd be well off.
Mm.
If I did a year streaming the hours that I've been doing, like 220 hours a month, to whereas if I went and worked for a year doing 220 hours a week, I'd be absolutely fucking minted.
So I have another job. I work 5 days a week. I'm on £17 an hour. I do it to get out of the house, and it's great for that sort of money as a subby. If I'd done that streaming, especially the hours that I do,
Yeah.
wow! Like I think, let me have a look on Hasroot. I think with like Twitch, I'm on like £4 an hour.
It's ridiculous.
It's yeah, I don't think people realize. But then, like, I know people look at me and go, "Fucking hell, touch grass." But for like myself, if I was doing another job and I was busting my ass for my business, you'd go, "Go on, Cosney,
Yeah,
you're
but
busting
then
your ass." When you're streaming, I'm doing all these hours because I want to live comfortably. Every hour
that's what I'm saying. It's
is
like
is growth. Yeah, it's.
it's I did a subathon, and I was
What
hoping.
I remember, was it the one a while like when you shaved your head?
Yeah. So that was like the best subathon. I did one just recently as well in September.
Yeah,
Just to obviously try and, not gonna lie, to get a bit of money.
of course. That's what
But
Sabaton's for.
it went south. I was like, holy shit. I was like, do people not know it's a subathon?
Mm,
I was like, normally like people are coming in and dropping 10 bombs and I had a goal. I think it was 1,200 subs for a Moist Boys tattoo on my wrist, on like my arm. So it'd be like from there to like there, and it'd say like Moist Boys. And I was like, mate, if I get that goal, I'm getting a tattoo.
mm.
And then I think I had uncapped was 700. So I was hoping, I was genuinely hoping, let's reach the uncapped. You know what I mean? But I think next time I do one, I'm just gonna start uncapped from the beginning.
Yeah.
Start off at like what 18 hours or something, and then just if it carries on going and going and going and going and going.
I just worked out so if I for £17 an hour, if I this week I've done 64 hours, I would have earned £1,088.
Yeah, and we earn that in a month.
Yeah.
No, I earn less actually.
Yeah, it's
Especially
I
because you have to convert whatever Twitch is in dollars.
well, yeah, because they fucking I don't know why they do it. They send it over and then send it back, and you seem to lose money both ways. So whatever your percentage should be gets converted into dollars, then converted back. And it just doesn't make sense. You just get your paycheck and you go, all right, cool.
Yeah, I looked the other day and it was like I was like, I was like, holy shit, last month I was like, holy shit, that's a lot. And I was like, oh wait, it's in dollars.
Yeah.
Converted it, and I was like, that's not bad, but
The exchange rate is
it's ridiculous.
awful. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why they do it. It's so annoying.
No, it's just like, what the fuck?
And I
But
don't.
like, it's
Go on,
just
go on.
it's just like I was saying, like I wish and I hope and I pray to God that this is my full-time job forever.
Mm,
But I was like, at the moment in time, the way it's sort of shaping up is it looks like I'm gonna have to go back to the old route of working in the morning, coming home, streaming in the night, working in the
mm,
morning. But like I said, with that one, again, it killed me. Like I
yeah.
was having like 3 hours, 4 hours sleep, go to work, put in an 8 hour shift, coming home, streaming 8 hours, go to bed. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. I really can't. I was like, that's why I quit. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do, I can't work and stream. So it's rather you work and give up streaming or stream and give up work. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go all out. Like, you know, all or nothing. Like I could lose everything from streaming, but at the same time I could gain everything at the same time. So I was like, focus on streaming, just do it every single day for at least 8 hours and you'll be sound.
Well,
Eventually, some point in time we're gonna grow.
I think that's and the trouble is every other stream is as good as the next one. So you never in this line of work, you never know when your time is. You could do something on stream one day that could change your life.
Yeah, like
I
that's
don't know what it could anything.
well with me, it was a whole thing with you on the pier.
Yeah.
I literally said a schizophrenic walks onto a pier with a knife, see you later, bitch. And
Mm,
literally the next day I had 1,000 people in my chat
yeah.
saying like and the one thing that genuinely drives me insane, and I know it's people just doing good, but it's like shush, right? Is when someone comes in your chat and like, you are so underrated, you need more viewers. And then you're like, oh thanks, man. And it's like, okay, bye, I'm gonna go watch my streamer now. It's like,
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, that is
like
very.
what? That's like such a backhanded compliment.
I've never looked at it that way. Actually,
I'm
I've
like,
never.
what the fuck? I was like, I was like, yeah. I'm sat there like, oh, thank you so much for having to leave. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, knobhead. You're not even
I'm gonna,
supporting me. What
I'm gonna
the
have to
fuck?
clip that one. I think and post it. That's actually so true. Yeah, people come and go. You are so underrated. I've just popped over from this guy to show you loads of love, and I hope you're the best future. I'm off now. Bye.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I remember when I first jumped onto the server and like loads of. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, I had like 400 people watch me every single day, and then I lost the leadership. It come over like that's the thing, right? In the gang, out of viewers, I'm probably the lowest. And everyone's like, "How are you so low? How do you have no views?" And it's like it's all up to the people, right? At the end of the day, and then people are like, "Yeah, but you are definitely one of the most. You are the
I,
best, probably the best in Moist, and you're probably the most underrated as well. You need
I
viewers."
think I think your issue is you take it a lot more seriously. Do you know what I mean? And because like the vibe that you went to go for was very serious role play, which is really hard to do. And now you're blending back into fucking around more.
Yeah,
Which,
I think I just need to like. The thing is, like I said to you before, I've lost the character of the old Beetle,
mm,
and I've watched my VODs back, and I've watched videos, and this is how I originally got the voice so good. Is there's a clip of Beatles' best moments, and it's 41 minutes long on YouTube, and I just sat there day in day out for hours up on end, just watching it, replaying it, listening to it, and then repeating it, playing it, repeating it. You know what I mean? And over and over and over again, just to get like his mannerisms, how he says stuff, how he acts. You know what I mean? How if someone insults him, how does he react then? You know what I mean? And I proper knuckled it down in NoPixel, and then when I became leader, it just all flew out the window.
I think
I
this
was
is
like,
gonna be an awesome episode for people to realize actually not only one is it very hard to make a character, very hard to keep that character and to
yes,
separate from what you want to do. This is why Fumbles last week, his thought process was unreal and extremely intelligent. What does Fumbles do? The opposite of what I want to do, which is easy but very hard to think of. Right, Shano wants to do this. Fumble does the opposite, and that's your guidebook.
that's what
Genius.
makes him scary though. like
Yeah.
obviously the character fumbles because like he could love the character Beetle, but then I could say something to him and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to stab Beetle," but then Fumbles is like, "Yeah, I'll stab him." And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit," you know what I mean? But like I think with Beetle just needs to be a yes man.
I think you just got. I know what it's like. It's tough and it's really, really hard. But the conversation I had with you the other day was the old. You had more of the voice in it, and you're chatting more shit.
Yeah,
And I think that's just what you. I think you, when you come to a new server, you have almost a fresh start to whether you play a character you've played before. You can still make that character any way you want. And because the serious stuff is like Moist Boys tonight, I'm sure you're fully aware of actually got something really juicy going along with a police
no,
officer's phone. Have you not heard about it?
I've watched football,
I was literally
come
locked
home, and
in.
then
I turned it off when you joined in. They've nicked Sherry's phone
oh
and
shit.
they're bribing the police because she's got all the messages between Declan Reed and they've got all the messages and apparently there's message in there of her saying she wants to kill someone.
Oh,
So
is it Mickey, the
yeah, she
lawyer?
wants to kill Mickey.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of shit I live for, and I know like yourself, but this stuff comes once in a blue moon.
This is what I was thinking, right? I was thinking like more of like of Beetle, like you know how Mr. K is, right?
Yeah.
Like how he's like very like he's kind of chaotic, but at the same in the same side, he's very like controlled.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulls it off. I
And
don't know.
I think at the time when I first created Beetle, I wanted to make him like him. So like Beetle have like these chaotic episodes of where he just run around killing cops, doing whatever he want, and then when it come to the gang meets, and I think the whole reason I changed it as well, because imagine going to a gang meeting and then Beetle's just sat there saying, "Yeah, what's going? You know me, you know me. I just come here to talk to you." You know, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you saying?" So
Mm,
like I changed it instead of it being that like gobbledygook. It was like, "Yeah, you know, I do that shit all the time. You know me, Cosby? I do that shit."
mm.
Which now I think of it, the second one I did sounds more like the actual Beetlejuice from like the actual one, whereas the one that I did first was no pixels. So I tried to make it more realistic along the lines of like people can actually understand me. But I think that's what the best thing was about Beetle, that no one could understand a word he was saying.
I never used to be on stage. We just I'd be like, what?
Everyone just used to be like, "Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah, yeah, you do that, man, you do that," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea." Next thing you know, I'm arrested. They're like,
Mm.
"What happened?" "You told me it was a good idea." I'm like, "No fucking day." He's like, "Yeah, you're dead. You told me. I said to you." And then like you know what I mean, he'd start insulting him.
I think you
Calling him
can hear even now. I think you can hear the old Beatle way more though, which is good. I
Yeah,
think
I've
it.
I've took a lot of so I think I had like a day off the other day, and then obviously tonight I took off just for the podcast, but well, not just for it, but I had other stuff to do. But I think in my days off, I'm just sat there talking as Beetle constantly. Like my little
Mm.
brother will pop in the room and say, you know, "Are you hungry now?" I just be like, "Yeah, I'm starving, man." He'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Because
I'm like, "I'm trying
your
to get into it."
your PD character voice was really good as well. That blew me away when the server first
Uh,
opened. I was watching. I was like, that's Firthy, isn't it? I'll call you Beetle, but I
yeah,
was like,
Carlo.
wow, yeah, like
Yeah.
you are very good at doing these voice. I'm fucking dog awful at it. So people that can do it, it always impresses me so
So
much
yeah,
because I can't do it.
yeah, it was just it's just I think the different like the similarities between Beetle and Carlo is they're both from New York. Well,
Mm,
Beetle's from like New Jersey, but obviously it's same sort of like it's like with Carlo, I made him in Red Dead Redemption because I didn't want to do like a stereotypical cowboy, you know, voice. I wanted to make something out of the ordinary. So I made like a New York Italian mafia guy who's on the run from the mafia, and that was his voice. Was you know, "Hey, how you doing, guys? You doing alright? I mean, shit. Look at this right here. What the fuck, right?"
that's cool. That is.
And then I used to have another character called Lorenzo Fontana. And have you ever watched Goodfellas?
Mm,
The one with
maybe years ago. Years ago.
it's got Joe Pesci in it, and he says like, you know, "You think I'm funny?" Have you ever seen that scene?
No, not that I can remember.
So he's
No.
like a high pitched, like he's more high pitched than Carlos. Like when um Lorenzo Fontana was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing over here? I told you not to put that there, right? That goes over that way. What the fuck are you doing, huh? Don't make me fucking smack you, you fucking idiot." You know, and then Like, and it was high pitched and more like aggressive, whereas like Kylo was like more chill back. But if you had to be said, like like gangster, he'd be gangster. And I've done many voices.
Where did you learn to do this then, or did you just start? Can you just do it? Because
No,
for someone that can't, myself, I'd love to. How do you get into
so
a voice?
so my original character was called Luther, and it was literally my voice, which I can't fucking stand. I hate my voice. I think it's so annoying. But it was just like, "You right, guys? What's going on?" And it was so dead. The character was just shit. And then I created TJ, which was like a lot of people say like they can see where Beetle comes from, but TJ was like, "I was good, man. What's popping in your head, dog? You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's what I'm talking about, man. God damn." And everyone's like, "Oh, I can hear Beetle," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I've got too much of Beetle." And then that was like that was a character that I had for the longest time, and then it moved over to No Pixel, and that's where I created Smokey, which Smokey absolutely blew my throat apart. He was like,
Mm,
Hey, what's up, man? Goddamn, give me back my crack, motherfucker. What you doing over there? Come over here, boy.
like that, like the old OG gangbanger type style. And then I moved over to Red Dead. That was when Carlo come around. Then come back to No Pixel, and that's when Shano was actually the person that recommended me to do a Beetlejuice voice because supposedly it sounded like Beetlejuice didn't.
mm,
But then obviously over time, I've just listened. I think it's more like when you get perfect pitch with music.
mm.
So I got that kind of ear for accents.
I would. I'd love to take the time. Like your your New York accent.
Yeah,
I think it is with a bit of Italian in it. I think that is the best gangster voice you can ever do in roleplay. I would love to do that, or even like a fucking who doesn't want to do a Tommy Shelby. I'd love to fucking make a character. I should really take the time and actually fucking get my arse in gear and practice.
I used to do a Alfie Solomon,
Mm,
but like it's nowhere. I've got too much of a high pitched voice.
mm.
Like where someone who's got a deeper voice. But used to be like, "Yeah, mate, you know me, mate. I'll bake bread in my bakery, mate. Yeah, that's all I do, isn't it, mate? Just bake bread."
Mm,
And then I did the not Tommy Shelby, what's it called? Fucking the Cray twins.
mm.
What the fuck is that, mate? And it's me tool. No, it's not. It's a fucking rolling pin, that is, mate. And then, but all I've done is I've just watched clips. Literally
Really?
watch like an old film like based on the mafia, like
Mm,
Goodfellas, for example. Um, and what it was for me was more of key phrases that I used. So to get into Carlo, before I go into that I'd mute my mic on stream, and I just say to myself like for like for about 10 seconds, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" Right, and then that was like kind of just like brainwashing me. So whenever I spoke, it was like,
yeah.
"How you doing?" That's every sentence when he first spoke, when he first like woke up in the city. It was, "Hey, how you doing, guys? You doing alright? Can I help
Yeah,
you?"
yeah, yeah.
And then overall, like over time, you start to pick up the lingo, like the when you say certain words. And then
Yeah,
with
and it's like
Beetle,
triggers, yeah.
yeah, like with Beetle, when he wakes up now, he's like,
How you doing, guys? What's going on? What's going on this day, baby? Let's
I
go.
always I suppose this must be one of yours as well. Hey, what's good, Casney? I
yeah,
Hey,
love
what's
that.
up, Cosby? I doing?
I
You
love
know,
that
back
whenever you ring. What's good, Casney? I
yeah.
love it.
And everyone just like, it's just like now it's become like a thing where I'll get like an influx of people, viewers, and all I see in chat is spell red. What's four?
Mm,
What's in between 4 and 6? How big's a
mm.
dick? It's like 6. And it's like, man, I've heard that since December. Please fucking stop. It is driving me insane. Because then I'm like, I feel bad if I'm like, nah, I'm not saying it. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, LSTER, 25. And it's just like, and then sometimes I just be like, yeah, it's LST, on it. And they'd be like, no, do it in the Beatle voice. And I'd be like, fuck off. Leave
Fuck
me
off, leave
alone.
me alone.
Yeah.
In time too, from your perspective, like what? Because obviously this is quite based around time too. What would you like to see more of, and how do you sort of think things are going? It's always good to hear from different people of what they think.
So I've had a big debate about this today, over in the Moist Boys Discord in the OC channel. I think there needs to be some sort of control over certain things. For example, I think each gang. I know there's a lot of gangs out there, but the gangs that are actually putting in the work and effort and trying the best to become something in the city, I think
Mm,
it would be a really good idea. And a lot of people disagree with me, but I think this is the best way to do RP is to give each gang a certain thing. So, like for instance, some gang up north, the bikers, they've been doing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean, making a name for himself. Give him meth. You know what I
mm.
mean. Some gangs give him weed. But when it comes to weed, it's not just a benefit of selling it. It's also got other benefits of like when you smoke it, obviously you get less stressed out. It adds armor, right? It makes you, you know, I don't know, some other side effects that could be very useful, for example, gunfights. Whereas like coke, it makes you faster, makes you take
Yeah.
more shots. You know, it adds a bit of extra health. I think you just need to give gangs so like, okay, you control this. You control this, you control this, and see how it goes because I can guarantee you that one gang's gonna fight another, and they're gonna be blacklisted from their gang in the war for guns.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then it makes each gang as powerful as each other because they've got
Do you,
something to
do you
hold.
think each gang should have one, or do you think 2 or 3 should have the same? I suppose it's kind of like
Because
the benches now, where you don't really have any repercussions
of the
necessarily.
amount of people in the server, the amount of gangs, I think what we've got like 30, 40.
Yeah.
I think I think it should be like two gangs, three gangs to each one. Just
Mm.
so then that way then say if like we've got guns, OBT have got guns, and Costello's have got guns.
Mm.
They're the only three that you can get guns with. Then we could do some next level snake RP where we say, right, if you're at war with someone, we don't sell it to them. Same goes for
Yeah.
yous. If Costello's are at war with the offenders, we don't sell guns to them.
Mm.
If OBT are at war with the limiters, we don't sell to them. If we're at war with a firm, we don't sell to them. So then it shows, okay, these three groups aren't selling to me because I'm at war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then say for instance, we're low on money and we say, oh, Cosney, can we buy some coke? And then you're like, well, can I buy some guns? And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck it, why not? Do a
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just adds more RP because I feel like nowadays you don't really get to interact with groups, gangs as much unless it's a gang meeting where you're meeting each other about war or a product,
Yeah.
forcing it in a way.
You're kind of doing your own thing. And yeah, I do get you. It's still early stages, but you are kind of doing your own thing. You have your deals with the benches, which it's hard to pull off, but for the benefit of meeting people, it's good. I think you are right and I think this is what's happening with cocaine. I mean, no, you yourself have been searching a lot, and so I think
Nothing.
I think 3 to 4 people are going to be offered a 24-hour window. You've got to give me £1 million in
I
24
think
hours.
I think so. I've always said this from starting a server, and I think this is what like no pixel, not in a way because no pixel's quality of RP is like top standard. Right, you
Mm,
join that server, you have to be not the best of the best, but you have to be in the top. Let's just say like RP wise, you have to be very good. Like
mm,
certain people in time two would not make it in no pixel because the standard of RP isn't there. You know what I mean? Some of them just don't really do much. Do you know what I mean? Some of them don't really speak in certain situations. But I feel like Babatunde, HQ's character, should do more stuff where bringing certain stuff into gangs to give people more RP. I think it's going to start off a big, massive like chain reaction of gangs being friends with each other, and then other gangs fighting each other over,
I think
using coke and stuff.
it's really tricky. I mean, I know I can offer my opinion, and so can you, and we don't know what happens behind this. We can have a great idea in our head, but they have something to counteract it. So it's just our opinions. But I think
Yeah,
like you, HQ's very busy dealing with the server. He's got Rastiki because he loves just fucking about. Because he even said in his episode he doesn't like the serious stuff. But it's like with wars. There should be a rule that a war can only go ahead with the kingpin's permission.
I think that as well as other stupid shit.
Mm.
Like if Beetle comes down to your block and talks shit to one of your boys, that should not be a reason to go to war. Which
It's
some
like
gangs have done, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's a shit reason.
it's like for the reasons like with our war between Moist, it's not something we wanted. Salim comes down and he's threatening to shoot. Well, he gets shot.
That's understandable. He's going to shoot you, and then
And do you know what I mean? And then like, it was good fun regardless. But it would be cool to go to a kingpin and say, right, this is our reason. Do we have the go ahead? And he can go, yeah, you can hit
yes, like
each other. You can hit each other 5 times, and then there would be a point where us and Moist, the police, got involved and said, right, we need to end this. This is where a kingpin should come in and say, carry on, or it ends now. And
Yeah.
right, who's won? Who's done what? An OOC here kind of know. And he'll go, right, you have to pay them 100K.
The thing is with a kingpin as well, what I genuinely like about having the idea of a kingpin is they are technically untouchable.
Yeah.
You fuck with a kingpin, he'll come down to your block with 70 AKs and shoot you all down. You know what I mean? He has like the permission to end wars, start wars. Say for instance, imagine the kingpin getting involved with the Bahama Mamas.
Yeah.
All that shit wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? That stuff.
Do you know what would be good as well for viewers and role players is gangs can show fear, because myself as a gang leader, frontline offenders like Chris Udu won't back down to anyone. If there was a kingpin, it's nice to see he has to go to a kingpin and be like, not yes sir, to sir, but he has to be like, these guys, like,
don't fuck around.
Yeah, and
exactly right.
It gives gangs another image. You're not gonna be scared of another gang, are you, in roleplay, really? Because you aspire to be at the top.
Yeah, but
it gives you a level of fear, which a lot of gang roleplayers want to show, but you never get the situation.
It's just, I think certain gangs nowadays, well, in time too, especially, is they don't want to, especially on stream, they don't want to look like bitches.
No.
They don't want to make it out that, oh, we're weak. We're lost to the Moist Boys, you know, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Which I feel like, in a way, that shouldn't how it be. It should be like, if a gang's fighting you and shit and they're dicking you over a bit, you know what I mean? You should show a bit of fear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no wrong in it. It's just RP.
I hate that, yeah.
And I feel like with a kingpin involved, if they do it correctly and do it right, it would be the best thing that's ever happened to the server for gang RP.
For how gang orientated it, yeah.
Not just that. It's like, imagine Beetle stabbing one of his boys by accident, and then Beetle gets taken and gets tortured. Next day, you know, Beetle comes out with a missing pinky. You know what I mean? How's that going to show every other gang? This crazy little fucking guy who, well, not at the moment, but eventually doesn't care about anyone, will literally walk up to your block, pull a gun on you. All these boys could have his gun pulled at your head. He's still going to shoot you because he's just crazy. He's stupid. Gets his fingers snapped off. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, whoa, okay. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And it also like adds in like to where you say, all right, we've got to meet the kingpin. It adds in the fear of like, okay, we're meeting a guy who's very powerful. And I understand where the server was coming from at the start. Anybody could be the kingpin.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has to be staff. Because then they could spawn stuff in, they could spawn guns, cars, give them ultimate money, you know what I mean? To then
on the same point as well, it's a really, really tricky one, and you have to see how it goes. But someone could be the kingpin. If you leave it in roleplay, that can be taken away, which also makes things juicy.
It's like, imagine that, like, say for instance, I as Beetlejuice, I started, you know, getting random people from gangs. So like, I approached you and said, look, we need to mask up, talk to him, blah, 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 blah. And then we go meet with the offenders and they just say, fuck you, bap, 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 bap. You know what I mean? Whereas if it's like someone like Babatunde who comes and he's got 5 guys around him who have all got AKs, they're going to be like, okay, boys, let's not do anything. And if something happened to the kingpin, your gang would then see the consequences. He could then be blacklisted from Coke, from...
What are you going to do if you're approached by the kingpin and Salim's there? Because Salim is not going to fear him.
As Beetle?
Yeah, you might want to kill this motherfucker here because he's going to do something dangerous. Kill him. Take him away. I don't care.
I think that would be really, really good, actually, to see. If you ever meet the kingpin, take Salim.
Imagine Beetle meeting the kingpin and the king, like, it's Babatunde, and Babatunde is like talking to him and shit, and he's like,
you're bald. What the fuck happened to your hair, man? You bald as shit.
And he's like, who are you, little man?
Don't call me fucking little man. I'll kill you. I don't care.
Mm.
He's like, you
I
don't want
think
to do that. You know,
it just, especially like HQ, that when has he got the fucking time to do it? That's the problem.
I don't. Not to be disrespectful towards HQ, he's a very busy man and he's got other characters. I think it should be someone else who's really fucking good.
I think Gramps would do a good job.
I said right, and I don't know why, but Callahan, the guy who plays Callahan, or O'Malley,
Yes.
or even so, like someone like Solomon's mindset. Because I think obviously Solomon, I don't think Solomon would be the kingpin, and I don't think it should be Solomon himself. I think it should be total separate character that has no relations to anyone. You know what I mean? He's just totally unbiased in everything and just gives it to people. You know what I mean? And I think Callahan, because I've seen his RP on Wild RP as well. He's a very good RPer. He does stuff like really well as well, scenes as well. That's what I mean. Like with me, I'm always thinking about scenes. Do you know what I mean? And what could look fucking like. I'm always thinking it as like a movie director when I'm role playing. I'm always putting effects on my screens like black and white if something sad happens. You know what I mean? Or like music to fit the scene. Like if Beatles going for an intense talk and stuff, I'll put like very dramatic, intense music on. And it just adds, instead of sat there listening to nothing.
Yeah.
And just being like, yeah, you know, this happened the other day. We're not too happy about it. You know what I mean? Adding music, it just gives it something
Changes
else.
everything.
It does. Honestly, I've literally got. I use YouTube Music because I got it free, and I've got literally a RP called a playlist called RP. I've got tense negotiations, best cinematic sad scenes, and that's like 15 minutes. The other one's like an hour long. I've just got loads. I've got like loads of Western ones and stuff.
That's what I need to do. I need to do that on my stream deck, which I'm useless with. I was thinking that today. Get it all ready because, like I say, music change it, dramatic, sad, because it sets the scene completely. And like I say to everyone, you're making a movie in role playing, whether you like it or not.
If I had the time or the money to hire an editor, I'd have been recording from day one. Like my streams, I like the one thing that like really gets me like not annoyed, but like it's sort of me myself is I reach out too much. So I'm being a scene. I look over and chat. Someone says something, I'm like, yeah. And then obviously when I'm recording, it's like I've just missed out on a crucial, which could be an absolute fucking movie. Like,
But the trouble is, we're not at the level to really do that, are we? Do you know what I mean? I get what you're.
No, not yet.
You're not at the level where you can just lock in these like a Mr. K. If he's locked in, he doesn't need to speak. But we sadly we can't get away with that yet.
I said my end goal is to be a top end GTA streamer. Someone that when like I go live, I've got, let's just say an example ballpark, 1,000 people watching. That is when I say to myself, you've accomplished everything.
I think the 1,000 mark is the one, isn't it?
Yeah, like not even 1,000, 500 people. You know what I mean? I'm streaming at the moment to 30 people, 25 people. Whereas obviously other people in the gang are streaming to 100, 180, 200, 300, 400. You know what I mean? You've got Jane Chu's on 10K. You got Salim who's usually around 900. You've got Abdul on 1.1. You know what I mean? Mona and Trev, they're on viewers. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm just trying to work my way up there. I'm trying to make it to the point where when it comes to it, it's like, okay, Beetle is probably the best person to watch in Moist for scenes, for RP quality, which people have come in and told me you are the go at RP. And
you're very good at you're good at the serious side. You're one of the better out of the lot.
I think when it comes to the serious, I can mix both. I can mix like the funniness into the serious, which is like a big thing people can't do. Like for instance, Keith in that meeting with Views when we come to the hangar, and Doug and Keith were just constantly fucking. And I literally told him when we got back to the manor, I was like, "You don't do that. That's a gang meeting where every single gang in there could initially turn around and say."
But if you weren't as big as streamers as you were then, any other gang would have been destroyed. And you're not going to shoot the server owner in the head.
Not even that. Like this is what I mean. A lot of people have this impression in your mind that they've got Ginger in the gang, so they're the biggest. And it's not that at all. It's the reason why we are the biggest is because of the people we have in the gang. You know what I mean? We've got like Salim and Abdul. You know what I mean? They're two brilliant role players. We've got Fumbles, who's absolutely fucking unreal. You know what I mean? You've got Tommy and Ketchup. You know, we've got like a lot of different characters. No character in that gang is the same. Whereas a lot of gangs, you'll see the same sort of pattern happening over again, where like certain people are just copying each other, and that's what I don't like to see. I like to see a gang of that's very unique, that's very different. That's why I chose most of the people in there.
And it's nice that the name still stood, because when you first changed it, I even said like no, but now
I remember that. I remember that. He was
I
like,
was
mate,
like,
listen.
what the
He was like,
fuck?
Beetle, that is not a good name. And I was like,
Oh, fuck it, I don't care. It's a good name. It's a real good name. I like
But
it.
the more something's used, the better is it. And that I don't know who had that picture made. Was it Salim who had the picture made? That
yes,
is
it's
awesome.
fucking sick, right? I
That
mean,
is so
even
cool.
though it's low quality and it's very like upsetting that it is shit quality on the wall, that you have to step back miles away to see it in like what it actually is. Like we had, so do you know how like you went for colours?
Mm,
We didn't want to go for any of that. Like technically, how you identify a moist is the character.
mm,
You you see Abdul, you instantly know it's Abdul. You see Slim, you instantly know it's Slim. You see Beetle, you instantly
yeah.
know that's Beetle. You know what I mean? Fumbles with the afro. You know what I mean? Ketchup with his maid outfit. Tommy with a cowboy hat. You instantly know each individual person who's in Moist Boys. And you're like, okay, let's not fuck with them because they're moist. Not even fuck with them, but you know what I mean? And we was gonna have a chain made, and it literally, you know, like the logo on the spray. It
Yeah.
was gonna be that, and then inside it was gems, and the gems would light up at night, but we couldn't have it in because it would make the server lag, which
Chains are
I was
horrendous
like,
for a
for
server.
fuck's sake, the only thing that I actually wanted to be identifiable by was a chain instead of
They're worse than car. You can have a complete car made, and a chain is worse. They are horrendous for a server.
yeah, and obviously with the name, do you know how the name come around? No,
But
or it
I don't
was
know. I don't know if you told me or not. I can't remember.
no, me and Shano was in a call one night and we was brainstorming like names. And we had like the Chaos Crew and shit, and I was like, that's cringy, bro. I was like, no. And then we had like the Doom Boys and stuff. And I was like, you know what I want? I want it to be like, so when you put it into initials, it sounds good. Do you know how you got CG, GG, all these other
Mm,
gangs from like No Pixel? So I was like, I really like the name like Boys, but you spell it BOIS. And I was like, I really like that. And it's something that like I stuck with. I was like, I wanted something Boys. And we was thinking of names like Chaos Boy, CB, and shit. And I was like, nah, it sounds too cringy, right? And then Shano said moist, something moist. No, what did he say? He said, we were trying to think of something, and he just said moist, and it just clicked. And the original name was going to be Moist Gang. So MG. And then Abdul started telling people it's Moist Boys. And we're all like, no, bro, it's Moist Gang. What are you doing? And then I was like, no, wait, hang on. Moist Boys. I was like, oh shit, we have created something spectacular.
I suppose it's quite good for you as well, because, like you say, you're not the leader anymore. But then you can still turn around and say, "I fucking made that," because you technically did.
Well, that's one thing that at the moment that Beatles going through is so honestly, I don't know whether to stay in the gang or leave it. Just
Mm.
because I feel like Beatles solo is 10 times better than Beatle gang.
Yeah,
Just because Beatles a free spirit, he can do whatever the fuck he wants and he has no repercussions on the gang. But I also don't want to leave it because Moist Boys is like a really good thing.
I think you just need to. I know what it's like, and I sympathise, because you like the serious, even though you're a fuck about character. And like you say, you've got some people in there that are very chaotic, some people that are somewhat new to it, so it's very exciting. It's very boom, boom, boom. Whereas where you've come from, it's very slow burner.
Yeah.
I think you just need to push a bit more for now.
Well, I mean, I'm trying my best, like I said, to bring the old Beetle back. The old Beetle is going to return sooner than later.
Then he will fit into Moist Boys.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm trying to figure out the voice without it, like, because everyone says does the voice hurt, and it doesn't hurt. But the new, like the old one that I used to do, the you know, like,
Hey, what's going on?
it doesn't hurt, but it like it's energy. It's so much
Yeah.
energy that I'm draining, and like people don't understand that when I start the stream at like and then like 5 hours into it, people are like, oh, your voice has changed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you try to do this voice fucking 8 hours to 10 hours a day. You're not going to be able to do it. You get tired so easy. And it's like, all you're doing is talking. Yeah, but it's putting the energy into how he speaks because he doesn't speak like, you're right, guys, how's it going? You know what I mean? Which uses no fucking energy. He's high, he's energetic, he's always crazy, he's always just splitting some random bullshit that makes no sense. And it's so fucking hard to do.
Mm.
And then obviously now I'm trying to find that again to make Beetle come back as the old Beetle from No Pixel that everybody knows and loves.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do.
It takes time, man, but you'll get there, and you just gotta. I think you just gotta follow the rest of the Moist Boys and what they're doing, and like the newish beat would go, no, don't do that, don't do that. You just need to kind of go, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean by a yes man. I just need to be like, yes, yes,
Mm.
yes, yes. Instead of being like, it's not a good idea, let's not do it. Just be like, yep, fuck it, let's do it. Do it.
I'm looking forward to the way that we're going. Like we work together now. I'm really looking forward to that, to see how that goes.
That's one thing that's been in the back of my mind for a while now, since like the beginning of the server, is like I was trying to see who I see being a gang in the future, like still a gang within like 3 months' time, 4 months' time. And it was the Firm, the Offenders, and then the Costellos.
Mm.
We had beef with the Offenders over summer, and then we had beef with the Costellos over the house. And the only one that we didn't have beef with, and he was absolutely fucking making a living, was the Firm. And I was like, you know what? That's one group that, as leader Beetle, would want to work with. And then the whole thing of like you coming to us and saying, I'm on coke right now. And it's like, okay, we need to work together.
No, I'm looking because when all the shit kicked off with us and I had the Offenders on us and you'll know everything that we done went wrong, and obviously I'm knackered. I was kind of like, I was sat there like, I might just fucking try and join them. I was like, OOC, it doesn't make sense in game and fuck it maybe in time, but I was kind of like, do I throw away everything and just go and fuck around? But I actually, the day when I got robbed and I come and met you, I was ready for you to perm me. I was so fumed. I was out for one day. I'd been tattooed on my ass for like 8 hours. And I was like, fuck it. Let's let them do it. And
I said I wouldn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you didn't, but I'm more happy. I like running things, and I'm happy now to work a lot. Same as me and you, like in role play, where we were snaky to each other, and this is the thing that people don't get as well. Like we get along very well, and to fall out in role play is fucking shite.
It is, because then like when you jump into each other's chat, it's like you're right there, and it's just like, you're right, beat all you're doing. Everyone's like, wait, don't you hate each other? And it's like, no. I was like, I call Cosney a two-faced cunt in roleplay, but out of like,
I think my problem
I
is
was like, no.
I use the same name, but the problem is I do it for advertisement. I've always done it. Anyone goes, who's that character? Easy. Type in Cosney.
Like, oh, who's Cosney? It's Cosney.
I done it for I wish I hadn't though, because viewers tend to get very confused when you've got the same name.
I think also as well, what they might get confused with is you can tell the difference between Beetle and Firthy, like myself.
Yeah.
Different accents, different tones, you know what I mean? Whereas Cosney it's like they're kind of very close together. Like
Yeah.
the same accent, you know what I mean? The same sort of when they speak and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is what I tell everyone, if you want to take RP seriously, I've always said, try your best to learn voices.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just like
agree.
literally like, just because the one thing that I hate is using a character on my own voice.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like if you do it, that's fine. I have no problem with it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But when people have like 10 characters and they're all the same voice, it's like, bro, what the fuck? It's like, just keep one or two characters. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're creating, like, for instance, you with your copy, it's your cousin. Whereas if I couldn't do voices, I'd say it's my brother, my older brother, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, and just keep it. And it's just like I always said, like, it took me I think a year and a half to learn the south side of kind of voice, the gangster, and I did it through watching like a lot of 80s gangster movies. Like, like Boys to Men. Is it not Boys? Is it Boys to Men?
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. All them kind of films, like the 80s sort of era. Watching a lot of them and just repeating what they said, obviously. Certain words.
Yeah.
No. Not certain words. But
that's a tricky game, that is, yeah.
yeah, not certain words, but like, when they're calling each other, like, when they're ringing them up and just having a normal chit chat, and and I just started like kind of sort of trying to mold. It's like weird because accents is hard. It's hard.
I've got a third character because, like you say, I've got two that are the same, and I completely agree. It's poor, very, very poor. You can get away with two push.
Yeah,
I've got a third that I really want to bring in. I'm just trying to make the voice for it, and I need to put a bit of work. But I only want to do it now and then, so I'm like, do I really want to put that much effort into it?
See, I had a character set up for Halloween, like the day on Halloween, if the server's popping, and I was gonna try do an event where this character has escaped from like a mental asylum, and he's planted bombs. Obviously, it would be like a event where staff would get involved and put like maybe a pitch, like like place an object of a bomb or something on a building, and he'd ring the police. And the voice that I was doing was the Joker voice from the Arkham Knight games. And I was like, so it was like, I'd ring up, he's called like Jester Pinkins. And I made him like ages ago because I showed HQ the voice and he was like, mate, bring a character out like that and we'll definitely do something. So I was like buzzing. So what it was going to be on Halloween, I picked the best time Halloween, the day of Halloween, something big goes on. And it was going to be like, bring up like Rupert and be like, hello, Rupert, welcome. It is me. How you doing, Rupert? And then he'd be like, who are you? And I'd be like, I've planted 5 bombs around the city. Time to go get it. The clock is ticking. And then end the phone. And then he'd be like, what the fuck is that? And then next thing you know, you get an alert, like an Amber Alert saying, if you see a guy, if this person contacts you or anything like that, avoid him at all costs. So then civilians and gang members wouldn't get involved. And if they seen him, they'd feared him. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh shit, that's the guy, get away from, you know what I mean? And I was going to do it on Halloween, but then I just thought, you know what, fucking scrap it, because that voice kills me off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet that's...
Yeah, it's like fucking so tiring.
Did you ever meet the guy in No Pixel that done it? He was like a lawyer. I can't remember his name, but he went to it with full energy for a few hours, and I was like, how do you do it?
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but he was a lawyer and he played like the Joker, and I thought, wow, like...
the thing is with like, I was like, I really want to do it, but then at the same time, I was like, would people find it entertaining? Or would people just be like the city himself?
Mixes it up a bit, doesn't it? Halloween's always special. Halloween's always
or even so, like, this is what I was saying. Like, they did this on Prodigy, and I fucking loved every minute. Is they got like Michael Myers or Jason or Freddy or Chucky, and what it was an admin, and they just go up to random groups and just spawn themselves in and put God mode on, and just put like freaky music down the mic and chase them. And they'd all be freaking out, and on the stream they'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like I was saying stuff like that for like Halloween, and stuff like, or even so, every 2 fortnightly events. Do you know what I mean? Something's going down this weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like for instance, the whole thing last night with even though it didn't last as long, but it was still good content when it was.
It was annoying. It's because the trouble is being a gang member. You have to stay in a gangster mentality, and like the way I try and do it, you don't really laugh, and even if you find something funny, you don't laugh because it's incredibly boring. It was so nice to just go down for half an hour and just don't be a gangster.
Now imagine if the Moist Boys did rob everyone.
I'd be fuming. I think you'd all be on 7 days probably.
But, I think so.
Yeah. The trouble is stuff like that, you've got to let it run, and you got to let whoever's doing it do their
I,
thing and just cut it, leave it at
I've
that.
always said, on me, if I was admins or someone high up in the staff, I'd always say roleplay over roleplay.
Mm,
If it's roleplay, if it's rule breaks, like for instance, you NVL like 1,000, like 100 people in an event, and obviously that's like get the fuck out of here. But like the other day, I accidentally stabbed Colin outside the hospital, but I was meant to stab the old man,
mm.
and obviously because Colin was escorting him, I've gone to stab him, and then as I've brought the knife down, I've just fucking got Colin. And I was like,
I mean,
like,
the trouble
fuck.
with role play over rule play is that is a matter of opinion, isn't it? And we
Yes,
can all
100%,
say we
100%.
can all have the best scene in the world. If staff
Corporate
don't deem
influence.
it, staff
Yeah,
don't deem it, and that's the. I
exactly
do
that.
think with events, though, I think you should let the event run to plan, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Especially like someone like this is how Colin set it out. You get your shit, you fuck off. It's kind of like a green zone. Do you know what I mean?
it's like I think like we was just doing it because obviously the court we all fought, and this is what like we was all thinking was the court lab was on the line.
Mm,
Like in one of these containers is rather going to be a note that says the court lab is here, or it was going to be a table of court, like the court table,
mm,
and we was all like, we need that, and then we betting on the first one because we thought it was going to be PD Glocks and stuff. But what I
mm,
think they've done is they've given us like, you know how you got like Morrison's and Tesco's and they've always got the trays out and they're like, here, try this. And they give you a taster and you're like, oh, that's banging. Let
mm,
me go get some. I think that's what they've done with this. I think they've given us a taster and just a little bit of what we could get. And then further down the line, in a few weeks, some of them might do another one where it's bigger and better. You know what I mean?
mm.
And then with it being bigger and better is bigger and more money. You know what I mean?
I think that the end goal of these events are get money out of the economy without giving too much. Because
Too much
I
back, yeah.
I don't think they'll get much better, but I think next time people will probably hold off a bit more. But either way, like me doing that 320, I hate gambling. But I went there going, I will have a container for the content. Like some of my gang were fuming, and I can't really say in game much for the content.
No, yeah, yeah.
OOC, I need to show a container for my stream, regardless. And it's like when I done the 320, I was driving to get the money. I was like, guys, I'm genuinely nervous. I was
What, in
like, I
case
think
someone robbed you?
because the luck I have, my role play,
Yes.
you know longer than most.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
luck I have in role play is horrendous.
Shit.
Look, my no pixel luck was horrendous,
You
and
made
it
one joke and just fucked up everything.
literally, yeah, and like in no pixel, I just literally, and I did not know Ginge was there
No.
that day. I did not know Ginge was there, and I made a joke about Manchester in front of Angry Ginge.
Yeah. And
Tell
that
me
was it.
anyone that is going to do that, and I was like,
Fuck's sake.
same as fucking witnessing the Captain Slacks or whatever getting executed by Mr. K
Oh,
in his
yes. I
boot.
remember that. I was like, what the fuck? I remember watching you stream and be like, what the fuck? And then,
And then I have to persuade the officers that I'm not involved, that I persuade a
yes.
captain to give me a taxi lift. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I just have shit luck. And yeah, I just thought this container is going to be full of fucking ice creams. Luckily, it paid off, but I was
thinking,
so nervous.
I was just thinking though, like, you know what my original plan was going to be?
But
Because you know, like how they were saying, if you bet, like if you're betting on the container, like stay. I was hoping that it would be me and Fumbles. Fumbles would be doing the actual bidding, and then Beetle would just shout random numbers.
yeah,
So like you say like 200, I'd say 250, and then it'd be like,
that's
all right, 250, and then you'd go 260. I'm like 270.
that's what I've done on the last two.
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to highball someone so they
That's
pay
what
like
I done.
500k on a container. They pull it out and it's just fucking cabbage.
I think it
They're
was
like, what?
Costello's were going big with someone else. I thought, fuck it. I've got one. I know that people are not going to want me to have one. They're going to know that I'm being serious. So I was like, fuck it. 300k. And everyone was like 350. And then when people started dropping hands, I said, right, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, because the thing is, like, I was like, mate, imagine if I get someone up to like 700k and they're like 710k, and I'm just like, put hands down and be like, what?
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't gonna buy it in the first place. You know, they'd be like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And I just fuck them over, and they've like spent majority of the fund that they had. And I was
We
just trying to do it,
do.
but then I was like, no, I'm not fucking
We
it up.
definitely need more stuff for that though. But then with that one was with the assistant of staff. But we definitely need more stuff. Like we've also got the tarts are built up now, which obviously have Tom Jones Wales in. They've got Dialing Pin, Babs is in there.
Yeah.
They want to bring this Love Island shit in. Whether might not suit us, but there's a lot of people that will love that, and I really hope they get it going because
Fucking
servers
hell.
need that.
Imagine Peter on Love Island.
But do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
We need that so desperately, and it is down to us. It's down to us as
It's-
role players to do it.
This is what, like, I think with Solomon, you know, when he did the derby,
Yeah,
he did the demolition. He was doing that for quite a while, and I feel like with him doing that, I feel like he was trying to put out, look, guys, just because you're, just not like you're nobody, but just because you ain't well known in, like, you know what I mean,
anyone.
you
Yeah,
can always do events. And I've thought about doing multiple events before. Like I'm in the works at the moment in time with Callahan. Obviously I Sealy, but also Sealy Coxie. We're trying to get a music record in, like a music label to where, but the whole thing that's stopping us is how you make money from that. I've come up with the idea of you go to the record label, you clock in. You clock in as a recording artist, a mixer, or a security. And
yeah.
you actually have to be in there performing music or singing, or if you're a mixer, thinking of how to, you know what I mean? You actually have to do it to
Do
have a job there.
you know what? I think back to our previous comment because I know Ramon. I'm pretty sure it's Ramon who's a big fan of this. This is why we need wars to last longer, so you can get mixtapes out. Because I'm sure Ramon does it, doesn't he? Or he gets involved, like with diss tracks. He's making one against me, isn't he?
No, no.
But
No, I will say a little peek of I think he's about to making music. I'll say that.
okay, because I
Um,
that does add good OOC heat. Because No Pixel do it very well.
yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get like a thingy up, like a record label, in hopes that someone else will spin one off and open
Mm,
theirs, and then we can have like Death Row slash fucking what were the Death Row records and what were the other one?
fuck knows, I don't
Well,
know.
the east side of like America versus the west side of like music, and it's just constantly battles. You know what I mean? And what my whole plan was to, I had a name that was recently taken by SK, who plays Sparky Kane in No Pixel. Or I don't know. One of my viewers recommended it. It was called what's it? Revival Records, and now I'm stuck without a name.
Mm,
And I was like thinking to call it Moist Records, but then I was like, we can't have it sort of tied to the gang, you know what I mean? And it's just,
yeah,
but I am trying to get it in, and I'm trying my best to sort of think of a way to earn money. And then we're gonna have like awards where it's like music events, and then every quarter, like every 3 months, if obviously it goes that well, we'll have awards for the best song. Like, whoever will have votes on, people who sing, people who rap, people who do
yeah.
rock music, people who just put out tracks, you know what I mean? And my whole thought process behind it is to get on the radio, to get custom radios.
Mm.
So when you're driving around in your car doing whatever, you can flick on the radio and it's the city's music.
It would be a good idea.
I am
Th-
trying my best to. I'd say it's like 50-50 at the moment, with 50% done, but then 50% not, because we still try to think of ways to make it even better, to where it's like you don't have to just go there and clock in. You get paid
Mm,
for each release slash radio album.
yeah.
So you make a single, it's like a grand, at 10 grand. You make an album, it's 100 grand. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And it's just obviously, where do we get that money from? Are the city going to provide it? You know what I mean? Is it going to be like,
yeah.
okay, you get this much for the first few weeks? You know what I mean? And I genuinely want to push the music genre, because I know there's a lot of people in city who have hidden talents,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and I'm trying to get it out there. And it's just, that's one of my goals in the city that I'm working towards, is being a music label owner.
That'd be very, very good.
Beatles
So
turned into fucking, what's it called? The owner of Death Records, Death Row.
I don't know. It's not my scene.
No, he's just like the
So
fucking big beard and bald head. He's like Hard bastard.
I don't know. For my last question, which I like, I think I started this last week. Who would you like to see on here next?
Me?
Who would you like to see on the next episode?
Next episode? I'd say Tommy or Abdul.
Tommy Raptor, yeah?
And the only reason I say Tommy is because he's very new to it.
He's very new.
This is his first ever server that he's been on. So I reckon if you get him on here, it's gonna be like you've got like me who's been doing it for like 7 years, and then you've got him who's just come on. But I reckon even Salim.
I have something planned for Salim, and I'm not telling anyone yet.
No, good, keep it that way.
I've
mean-
got something planned.
I mean, who else? Solomon. I
I'm
think Sol would be down to it.
I have Dust Monk. There's a time as well when I want Dust, and that's another time when I don't want to give it away.
I'd say Tommy or Abdul, and I'm pretty sure Tommy or Abdul would be down to do one.
They're really good
100%.
fun. It's really, and I've known you for a while. I spoke to you OC, but then there's some people that I've never spoken to behind the stream, and it's same as Shano last week. I've never spoken to him behind streaming, so it's so much fun speaking to someone, and then content creators. It's so much fun hearing Shano mentally how they deal with it. Some people financially, how Rupert, how they make their character. It's the information that you can get in the hour and a half, etc., is awesome. And then like today, so we've got voices from you, like your opinion of what it's so much to learn. And I absolutely love it. It's so much fun.
I mean, I've always I wanted to make a podcast, but not about like this stuff. More of like me as a family man. I'm very close to my cousins, Justin, Deacon, and then obviously my little brother Marcus. And then my cousins have got a mate called Reese, and we're all very close. Like for Reese's 21st, we went into the woods, had a barbecue, had a few drinks, listened to music, and it was probably one of the best times I've ever had. Just doing random event. And I've always wanted to do one where like I get my family involved because my family is fucking. Honestly, if I created a TV show on my family, everyone would be addicted. Because my family's just fucking like they're just nuts characters. Like everyone who meets my family are like, mate, I want to be a part of your family. Like they're just fucking, they're insane.
Best advice is just I wanted to do a podcast for so long. I wanted all the equipment. I wanted a studio, and then my team just turned around and said, "We'll do it with you." Because this is the level that I wanted to get at, where I have guests on, and my team just said, "Right, this weekend we do it." I was like, "Wow, fuck, shit!" They're like, "No, we just do it on a computer. We just go." And then like the level that I personally wanted to be at is now is guests, interviewing guests, and without them, I would never have got it. And obviously, they're not as involved on screen anymore, but they still support it because they know that's the level, and they're not disappearing from the cast itself, but it's just the level we wanted to get it to, and without them, I wouldn't be where we are now. And then look at now, 1,000 views an episode is crazy.
Nuts. I mean,
nuts.
I think as well, it's like one of the I don't want to say easiest ways to get guests, but with Twitch, it's very easy because no one has to fly, no one has to book an accommodation. It's literally just a DM, a reply. Here's a time, hop in. You know
and
I mean?
everyone has a story.
Yes,
everyone wants
100%.
to tell their story, and you're not going to spout this shit on stream going, "Oh, by the way, this is how I started streaming," but everyone wants people to know, so this gives people that opportunity. And like,
I enjoyed watching the Shano one. Like,
that's one that's very like passionate to me, and I didn't want to take over from his line. Like, but I actually used to run a men's mental health club. I actually do a lot with it. I might call people fucking idiots on stream and stuff, but Dinlos. But from a mental health side of things, I'm very, very passionate about it, and it is good for someone to have the fucking balls and knowing that 1,000 people are going to see it and say, "No, I struggle."
Oh, I mean,
you do.
I tell you now. I mean, everybody in the whole entire world struggles with some sort of depression or anxiety and stuff. And I've gone through the ringer. You know what I mean? I lost my dad at 21. And then obviously with being 21, I had the choice of taking on where I live now, or going back home, to live with my mum. And
Mm,
I was like, fuck it, I'm an adult, I'm 21, do it. And I've done it. And obviously, with losing someone that close to you, it does affect you a lot. But if I tell you right now, when I started streaming again, in obviously, I'd say gaming in general helped me out like massively.
mm.
Like people don't understand how important like gaming is to people.
Just it's an escape to reality for everyone, isn't it?
I
And
said it's
especially role play, because role play's dangerous because you can be who you ideally want to be.
yes,
And you have to be really, really careful of that, of how invested you can get,
yeah,
because there's escaping reality and then there's just like making a reality, which some people be
do
a victim. And I'm not judging people for doing it. It happens. But yeah, you have to be careful. Are you escaping for pleasure to chill and relax? Or are you making a virtual life because it's easier than real? And it's a dangerous. It's
yeah.
gaming is an addiction like anything else. I mean,
I said
fuck
this,
me.
mate. It's to me, if I was to be addicted, like I said before, right, I could have gone the route of like being depressed, taking drugs, drinking, but instead, I took the route of gaming, which to me is like
The
the best
safest
possible.
addiction. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
100%. Like what I sit here for 12 hours a day, enjoying my time. Yeah, I get up. I might have fucking what's it called, DVT. You know what I
mm.
mean? I might my legs might stand it. I might have to have my legs amputated from blood flow and stuff. But who gives a shit? I'm having fun playing games. You know what I mean? End of the
You're
day,
not.
like
Yeah, I think
you
if
know,
you're gonna use some form of escape, fucking rock on
gaming,
gaming, like
gaming.
fucking go for it.
Like me, I don't really drink. Don't never partake in any drugs apart from obviously
Mm,
cigs. But drinking alcohol don't really plead to me. I just literally takeaways and gaming.
mm. I can, and I do like a beer, but I'm on Stoptober right now. But yeah, it's a very addictive lifestyle in it, and it's not a healthy one though. So that's why I love the Shayna one, because this lifestyle is not healthy, and it. I mean, you're not getting shot in real life, but it is dangerous, especially on your
Take
mental health.
take it from me. I drink fucking. I
What?
drink 4 monsters a day nearly.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly. Do you know
probably.
what I mean?
I said if I don't stop doing that shit soon, I'm gone.
Yeah.
27 comes around, I'm not here. I'm not fucking. I said I've stopped. Like this is the first day without having any. I've like took it from like having like two, and then like when you drink them that much, it doesn't do anything.
Mm,
And I upped the dosage to like 3, and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh shit, I'm staying awake for like hours up and hours." And then I did 4, and I was like, "Yes." And then it got to the point where I was drinking 4, and I was like 5 hours in a stream. I'm like, "I might end soon, chat. I'm tired." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What the
Fuck
fuck?
it,
I've just
yeah.
drunk 4 fucking monsters." And then like now it went from like 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and then like now this is the first day that I've woke up. I haven't had any,
Mm,
and I can guarantee you, I feel so much better.
yeah. You do when you knock things on the head. You do
I have
feel
like a
so much
massive
better.
fucking caffeine withdrawal headache, but I don't even care at this point. I'm just like, you know
Well,
what it is? Feel better.
Beetle, thank you very, very much for coming on. This has been the longest episode I've done, but I have enjoyed it. It's been awesome. It's been awesome to catch up with you, to be honest, because like we don't get the chance,
No,
and
I was too busy.
we've played games together and we've chilled in VC. So yeah, it's awesome to catch up with you, mate.
Yeah, man, I appreciate
Thank
you
you
having me on.
very, very much for coming on. Congratulations on the partner, and I hope you just keep killing it. And I hope that the original Beetle comes back, and I'm sure it will.
I've got a plan for the original Beetle. Maybe he goes bald. He looks like Kimbo Slice,
Well,
and he just comes out, and it's just like,
I'm sure you'll figure out that plan and you'll make it happen, won't you?
yes, yeah.
Cheers, man. Appreciate you coming on, brother.
No worries. Thank you very much.